Hello, and this is Kyle LaPine, aka Guest of the Year. I want to thank everybody who voted for me. I'm gonna be a real sportsman here and say, I want to give a round of applause for every person who was nominated, and I want to say thank you for participating. And, not going to say it was a landslide, but it kind of was a landslide, but, people really know what they like, and people know what, like I said, I want to thank all the people who voted for me, every last one of you. You make this possible. Thank you for listening to the Keepin' It G Real podcast, and I want you to know that I appreciate every last one of you.
You forgot to mention your competition.
Oh, yeah. Listen, man, I'm going to say it out. Andy J, man, I feel bad. Better luck next year, man. No hard feelings. But, the people know what they want.
Andy J didn't get a single vote.
I feel bad, man. I'm going to be the sportsman. But, GG on that. I will give you a handshake if I ever see you. Hopefully, I won't see you because I feel like you're just gonna punch me square in the face. But I love you.
What about Anton? Ain't got any words for Anton? Anton had 3 votes.
Yo, Anton, dude, that's good. Dude, congrats on that. Good. Come second place. That's a real achievement.
I think he had 3 votes and you had 8 or 9.
Damn, 8 or
something
9.
like that.
Damn, that's a lot. I just realized. But no, I want to thank everyone who was nominated for participating. I want to thank Evan and Spencer for running the show. I'm always glad. I'm always happy to be here. I'm always happy to, be the star of the show sometimes.
You are the star of the show when you come on here. I think that's why people voted for you so much.
Yeah, no,
Hey, did you know you're on like 9 episodes?
Dude, yeah, I've been on them.
I counted them out when I did the thing and I set up the voting thing.
Yeah.
And you were on it literally like 9 episodes.
Well, we're making it 10 now.
This will be like the 10th one you've been on.
Yeah, dude.
Out of 31.
I remember when you first started this. You're like, I just want to try it, see how it goes. Now we're like 32 episodes in now.
This will be the 31st.
31st episode in, dude. Yo, I got to shout out to my friend T-Man, fucking Tyler. This mofo he found the podcast. No, I never told him about it. He found it, and he's been listening.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell him to share it.
Shout out to T-Man, Team Money 1997, man.
Anyone else you want to shout out? Anybody else?
Shout out to all my homies back, online.
Shout out to Big D.
Shout out to Big fucking D, dude. And, my friends Chris, Ryan, Jordan. All these guys that listen to the podcast as well that I know.
Kyle, tell him what time it is.
Yo, it is actually 7:36. You know what fucking time it is?
What time is it?
Game time!
This is the Keepin' It G Real podcast. We're here. It's your boy Evan. Kyle LaPine, man.
Yeah.
There you have it. He's the
star of the show,
star of the show. He is got the most votes. Guest of the year. Yeah. I'm actually going to be getting online soon to make him a little plaque for it now that he's won.
My God.
Get you a little plaque you can hang up on your wall, like in your office area.
I will put that on my wall proudly. I will put that on there. I will look at it every day.
Someday, when you're a big-time businessman or whatever it is you decide to do with your life, you're just going to put that up in your office, and people are going to come in and be like, oh, you went to school here, you did this, you did that. And you're going to be like, yeah, but this is my prized possession right here.
Yo, I'm going to be like...
By that time, you might be like, 3-time guest of the year. You never know.
I mean, let's make it happen, boys. But I will be honest with you, if I ever get it, when I get my job and everything... be like a big time manager, I'm gonna put that right on my wall, and if anyone ever comes in trying to talk to me, I'm gonna say, look, man, if you don't listen to the Keepin' It G Real podcast, I don't want to listen to you, dude.
You might not want anyone to know that you're on this podcast, so the shit you said on you might not get a job.
Oh my God, yeah, no, dude,
they ain't gonna let you into a workplace with your views on women and shit.
Man. You're really right.
I'm just picking on you.
I know.
He goes, you're really right, though.
Sometimes you're right, but sometimes I'm just like, well, I'm just here to have fun.
But yeah, so we decided now that we're done with school, we got a little more time to pump some of these podcasts out.
Yeah.
So overall, how did this semester go?
Everything went well. Not much I really want to say or really want to talk about. But
it went all right.
No, if there's one class I will say a shout out to my professor, fucking Andrew Nicholson, dude. Fucking best class that I think I've ever had at Cayuga. Next to history with Lanphier. Because the thing is with speech, I learned so much. Because even right now, I'm using the methods. I have my list here. We're going to be talking about that soon. I wrote down a couple words on every subject. So when I'm running through it, I have the details in my head stuck. I'm trying to stay away from and all that other kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. There's something I've been trying to do on here, and I already caught myself. I did it once or twice, is saying all the time.
Oh, yeah, no. Just like that. I'm trying not to say it. But then again, it's hard not to say it because you compare a lot of things together. And, we're not doing... it's such a free, I want to say, movement or free motion on this podcast. Because, it's... You talk about sports, you talk about games, you talk about pretty much anything.
Yeah, we talk about all kinds of stuff.
Oh my god, remember the conspiracy theory episode?
We did 2 of those. Really? I did one with Griffin and his brother, Ethan.
I wasn't there for that,
You gotta listen to the podcast, man. Come on now.
I know. Dude, I've listened to a bunch of them. I listened to the ones I've been on, and even the ones I haven't been on. And I don't know how I missed that one. Dude, it's funny because...
That was the longest one. That one was almost 4 hours.
Damn, dude.
I want to say it was the longest one. I think it was 4 hours. We talked about all kinds of stuff. Conspiracy theories. We talked about all kinds of shit.
No, but that's the interesting shit, though.
Yeah.
Not really.
Can be.
It depends on...
It depends on what ones. It depends on who you got on. It depends on what they believe and stuff.
Yeah.
You get Aaron on, everything's a fucking... We live in fucking...
we live in a fantasy world.
Fantasy world. If you get Aaron on...
The water's turning the frogs gay. Alexa works for the CIA. Aaron, I love you. Don't kill me, but I love you. One day he's just going to roll up and be like, yo... I heard you sound that podcast. I'm like, oh shit, and run. I miss him though. It's weird not having him there. Because
he's up at Syracuse now.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder how he's doing. I played PlayStation with him the other night for a little while. And he was like, hey, and all stuff and blah blah blah. And fucking he's like, you that slave boy and all this shit.
Oh my gosh. I remember when you came up with that.
I didn't come up with it. It's in a movie.
What movie is it from then? Because I've never seen that movie.
It's Year One with Jack Black. And he's when the girl's about to get hit by the dude, he's like, you what? And he stands up and he goes to hit her. And then Jack Black comes and saves her because he knows her. And he's like a god, looked at as like a god at this point in the movie. And he goes, you there? And he turns to her. He's like, slave girl. And he's like, go fetch me some more wine. And he clicks his fingers at her. He's like, go.
No, you can't say it like this. Slave girl. Fetch me some wine.
Yeah, that's what he said. Fetch me some more wine.
It's the Jack Black
dude. Yeah, that's how he does it. And then he turns and dude goes, slaves. What can you do?
Playing fucking Kung Fu Panda, dude. And
Kung Fu Panda.
I don't know why. That's I feel like that's the movie that made him, man. That's the movie because
that's the movie that made him. Kung Fu Panda, School of Rock.
Though? Yeah, Schoolhouse Rock is good.
School of Rock.
Yeah, dude. But Nacho Libre.
He's been in other movies before that, though.
Yeah, but he's a really good actor. Dude, he started doing YouTube. And
that'd be fun.
Yeah. No, it's called Jablinski.
Jablinski? I can't deal.
Yeah.
So we decided we're going to do a podcast solely about gaming unless Kyle wants to get off into the weeds on, how Kyle gets, the people who've been watching.
Yeah.
Kyle just started talking about weird shit.
I get a little rambunctious, I'm going to say. Just in the playing terms, but.
So what do you know about these new consoles? Because you are kind of like Spencer. You're way more on the tech side of things than I am. I seen the new Xbox. The Xbox actually looks cool. It looks more like a computer tower. People are bitching about that, but
why are people?
I think that's a cooler design. Why would you want something that's like, for example, look at my PlayStation. I love my PlayStation, but I would rather have my console be more rectangular and stand up than it would take less space up.
In honesty, dude,
than having my PlayStation sit flat. Now I can lay it on my side, or upwards, but I don't like that. I don't trust it.
Have you ever heard of the term of of managing your space?
Yeah.
So if it's sleeker, and if it's sleeker, you can put more things there. If people are bitching about it looking like a computer tower, here's the thing though: the Xbox One is basically a computer. That's all these consoles are. It's a computer.
Yeah, they're like computers that can run just good enough to play these games, but they don't. You can't do all the other stuff on them.
I mean, like, because I know the PS4 Pro can hit 60 frames per second, or 45.
I don't know. I think it's. I think they say it's 60, but like just like Xbox does, like native 4K, whatever for the. But I don't know. I follow this guy Solid Rev that talks about it all the time. He says not all the games can get to the high frame rates. I mean, but that's what everyone gets computers for.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, because you're paying $500 for, I want to say, like a console. When here's when I went over to PC, dude, I kind of had my PC and I played it a little bit and then I was on console. When I found something that I was really into, I went full PC. I actually stole my Xbox. My little sister plays Spyro on it. And, I moved into their room, and because I wasn't even using it. I had it like a 40-inch, I had like a 24 or like 43-inch TV that I wasn't even using. And it was just sitting there. And I just didn't use it. Like at that point, I upgraded my PC. I had everything. It's been good and everything. Because the thing that makes computers better is you can use them for different things. If you need to write out an essay, you can write an essay on it. If you need to,
right, that's one of the main reasons why I got mine.
Yeah, if you need to do math, you can do math on it. If you want to do 3D modeling, you can do 3D modeling on it. It doesn't have to be just gaming.
I got my PC because primarily the reason why I got my PC is I feel like it's a little bit different than everyone else.
Yeah.
I get it. A lot of my buddies that have PCs think that I've wasted my PC. I spent $1,500 on mine, right? And
still, that's like
I haven't played it as much as all my friends have. But as far as online games go, I bought it primarily to play older games that I can't get on consoles anymore. In some of the older
like an emulator.
Yeah, like I got it to play older games and to play some of the strategy games like Civ. Speaking of that, we got to talk about New Ages of Empire game came out. That looked dope, doesn't it?
I haven't seen it, dude.
It looks sweet.
I've been so busy with.
I've been busy too. I haven't bought any of the games I want to buy. I haven't bought Death Stranding. I haven't bought Outer Worlds. I know you said you want to talk about that, but I haven't bought any games. I bought FIFA. Bought FIFA because my family gave me shit for my birthday to buy it, and I bought it. And Sensor and I split buying Black Ops or whatever. Or not Black Ops, Call of Duty. But other than that, I haven't bought any games. But no, I bought it because I knew at the time I wanted to go back to college. And I wanted to play old games. So I'm like, I'm going to get something that's powerful and that I can run everything on so I can do schoolwork. I primarily sit here and just do schoolwork. I haven't been playing barely anything at all.
Yeah, no.
Now these past 2 weeks, school's over with. We've just been playing Call of Duty, really.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
This is the first week I've been able to sit and not really do anything. It's like, fuck.
You know what's really cool?
My grades are starting to come in.
You know what's kind of cool, though, with that? Back on what you're saying about older games. You ever heard of a Raspberry Pi?
It sounds dirty, but yeah.
No,
like you talk about the food?
No. Raspberry Pi is a kind of...
cakes and pies, cakes and pies.
A Raspberry Pi is basically an emulation machine, and you can program it. So you could actually have someone program it to play old games.
Oh, word?
Yeah. You get a little fan on it.
Oh, word, dog?
Yeah, seriously. N64, if it's strong enough, you can even have it play... Because you need to have more voltage if you want to go the newer stuff. You need more voltage, but you also need you need a better fan too. But if you just have a Raspberry Pi is basically like a motherboard, processor, and everything together. It's pretty cool. I've always looked in that kind of stuff. I love tech.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest tech guy. I need to get a little more savvy as to how things work. I know how to use everything I need to do on my computer, but I can't go and look at the specs and know precisely what I'm looking at and stuff. And I don't really care to know, really. If I have any questions, I either ask Big D or I ask Spencer. And if they're like, oh, you need this, this, and that, I go buy it. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm computer illiterate. I know how to maneuver my...
illiterate.
Yeah, well, I know how to move my name around my computer.
To be computer illiterate, in my opinion, is you know how to turn on your computer, but that's it. You don't know, what to do after that. Kind of think of it as like this. You remember when you first started riding a bike, it was kind of, without the training wheels? Think of it like that, but instead of it being a bike, think of it as a computer. Because, you're scared of it. People who are, like, computer literate are scared of computers. That's my opinion on that.
So, what have you seen about these new consoles?
Dude, like I said, I've been so busy. I haven't looked at them. I heard that the Xbox One says it's as strong as a PC. The PlayStation I saw people liked, but unfortunately I haven't like searched up into it yet. Only because like I've been busy with work, school. Now that I actually have some time to hang out with some friends, get online. I'll probably look into it more, and we could probably come back to this when I have some research and everything on it. And I can tell you exactly what I think. Only because I just haven't, I haven't seen it. And I don't want to give my opinion on something I haven't seen yet.
I don't know much about it. I've just seen what it looks like. Here's my thing, though. You're either in the one of two camps. Mm-hmm. You're either the person that just wants the most powerful consoles or whatever. I mean, for that, get a PC, but, that's what people say they like the Xbox for. It's the most powerful console.
Well, yeah.
But my thing is this. Is Xbox going to do anything with it? Is it going to do anything with it? Because, listen, yes, you could play all the shooters and the sports games on both consoles and shit, right? Yeah. But both consoles have their own exclusives, right?
Oh, yeah.
Here's my point. Just because the Xbox is a little more powerful, on average usually, doesn't make it's not going to make my gaming experience that much more better at all. The gaming experience is still going to be the same. So it's like, why? I have no reason to buy an Xbox. I thought that Xbox, if you haven't seen it, it looks dope. But are they going to come out with some shit I want to play? Because guess what? Halo comes out on PC. And we're all going to get that shit on PC. We ain't getting that shit on Xbox.
You mean, we got to get that. I got to buy that soon.
Big D's going to get it. Sut's going to get it. Nate's getting it.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. We're going to get it on PC. We're going to tear people up.
Hell yeah, dude.
But, that's what I'm saying. We're not going to get it on an Xbox.
Yeah.
This Xbox going to come out with IPs, man. Make Xbox great again, dude.
Dude, and the thing is,
dude, the whole power thing falls on deaf ears for me.
What's funny is this, too.
Make some fucking games, and I'll buy your console.
What makes it even funny, too, is that some of the games on the Xbox can go over to PC. Like Cuphead. If you buy it on Xbox, you get it for free on PC through the Microsoft Store. That's pre-installed on your computer. So the question is, why even buy an Xbox if I can just buy the game on my PC?
Right.
But it comes down to what you said. If you want the strongest thing, you're gonna go with PC because you want to be more on the competitive side. If you just want something to sit down, play games, kind of like something I like to call a Steam machine, you have it to play games. It's nothing. It's not like you use it for actual work. Because I do some 3D modeling. I actually do some I used to do a little bit of beats and music with that. And the thing is, my computer was strong enough to render that, even with videos.
DJ Pine Tree in the building, 150 Kids Not Children.
Oh yeah,
the Pine Master.
Yeah, maple sausage.
I came up in here to rock, light a fire, make it hot.
Dude,
that's how you get. That's how ask D's. That's how you ask D's. That's how you get the ladies at the bar. You just play the "Can you meet me halfway?"
Actually, no. I wanted to say
right
this.
Out the borderline is where I'm going.
I want to say congrats to Nate on second kid. I was gonna say that.
Oh, that's sweet of you. I
just want to say congratulations on that.
Tell him you apologize for just freaking insulting his house too and breaking shit while you're on top of it.
Listen, dude. Listen. I already apologized to him about that. He said it was fun.
Shout out to the D's, by the way.
Yeah, but I just want to congratulate him on his second child.
They got a beautiful family, man. I'm proud of him. You know what's funny? Nate, I've known Nate since he was 16, right? So I've known him for 11 years. Mm-hmm. He's one of my best friends, and you know what's hilarious about this? I'm proud of him because it's all coming full circle for him. You want to know what, dude? Everyone's when we were younger, you're always what do you want to be when you grow up? And everyone's I want to be a fighter, and then someone else is I want to be this, or I want to be that, or I want to be a teacher. And I remember when Nate and I were teenagers, and I asked him what he wanted to be when he got older. He goes, "Well, I feel like it'd be a lot of things." He's like, "But I feel like if there's one thing I really want to be, he's I want to be a dad." That's what he told me.
Damn,
that's what he told me when he was 16 or 17. I'm
deep.
motherfucker,
melted my
your boy's gonna be 30 next year.
Yo, that melted.
And I'm still not thinking about fucking being a dad. Like,
we're still in college,
but no, it is a beautiful thing, and I'm proud of him. Congrats to the big D's. He's got baby Leah, little Ham, and then he's got baby Colin.
Oh, that's
congrats to Court too.
Yeah, congratulations.
But yeah, dude, it's an awesome thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't wreck the home too bad. You know, they got kids over there. Fucking Kyle comes over to Nate's house, just breaking baby gates, stomping on fucking air vents, insults his house.
That was an accident. Okay. You know what? I apologize.
It's okay.
I apologize.
He's going to pick on you for that forever.
I
you know that, right?
I know he is. He's going to be like, man, you came in my house. You said it looked bad. You said, you broke things. I didn't even charge you. I should have charged you when I did.
Yo, this dude comes over to Nate's house.
Please.
They were fixing up the house, and
no, I don't.
Kyle sees it. I don't remember how it went, but I think you see it from the outside. Then you walked inside, or whatever, and you insult his house. Dude, this shit was hilarious. And I'm trying to cover for you. I'm just like, he gets a little, around people.
I got nothing to say. I'm sorry, Nate.
And then you break the baby gate. You step on the floor mat.
That was already broken. The fact was already dented.
Oh, anyways.
Dude, when we were playing pool, I was scared because I'm like, man, if I hit this too hard, it's gonna freaking break a window. And I was scared, man.
Anyways, let's get to the meat and potatoes. So Kyle and I were texting each other, and we were talking about our favorite video games of all time.
Yeah.
So we decided to make a list. I think you got more than 15, don't you?
I got 16. I can cut one out.
No, you can have it. You can have the 16. Just we're gonna go in reverse. You're gonna start from 16. I'm gonna start from 15. We're gonna go down. We're gonna talk about our favorite games on these lists. Break them down.
Like why we like them.
And actually, no, I'll cut one out.
You cut one out?
Wait, hold on. I had one I remembered. Bear with us, folks. Kyle and I made these lists, and we're gonna get into the weeds. You can keep your 16. I'm swapping one out though.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when I was doing this, and I'm gonna say it because, and you know what? Kingdom Hearts wasn't even on this.
Oh god,
it wasn't even on it. I'm like,
fucking Kingdom Hearts.
I remember when Noah was like, "Come on, Kyle, just have your 5 minutes of the Kingdom Hearts. Just let it out." I'm like, okay, and then. Oh, man.
That's fucking funny.
It was. It really was.
What's with you and your Kingdom Hearts?
I don't know. It was because, like, as a kid, I played it all the time. And, like, as I got older, after I played the third one, I was like, man, it was really fun playing that. But I fucking hated that I was in 4K. Because you have a normal TV versus 4K, it looks shit. Like, I had to, like, actually sit. I had to sit on the wall. Not on the wall. Right back to the wall from my bed to even have it look good. That's like what irritated me the most. Because I had to sit back for it to look nice. When I just couldn't sit up front. Or even just, So, I mean, that's what I hated. Was just, I mean, if you get it on PC, and if, like, I wish it was on PC. I wish it was on PC. Because they're bringing over, like, Ratchet and Clank. Not Ratchet and Clank. They bringing over Spyro. They bringing over Crash Bandicoot. Dude,
hold on a
second. The Tasmanian Tiger.
Hold that thought. Hello. I thought Sarah moved my car up. All right.
Is my car in the way? Is my car in the way?
Yeah, you got to move your car. Okay. I will keep talking.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta do some stuff.
Just park on the side of the road.
I will.
But yeah, so we have our top 15 games of all time. It does. I don't think really it transcended platforms. I actually think I got a bonus game I'm going to add to mine. And a lot of people don't like strategy games, but he has 16, so I'm going to add one more. But yeah, as everyone knows, I'm a PlayStation guy. We've talked about it on here at nauseum. It's just Xbox 360 was good. But after that, I just feel like it's been a little lackluster after that. I don't even know what the date is on when this new Xbox Series X comes out. I got a little... Ooh, there it is right there. Xbox Series X will be a direct competition with Sony's PS5. It launches holiday 2020. Xbox Project Scarlet is officially Xbox Series X, Microsoft's next generation console, which is due to release alongside the PS5 in holiday 2020. Microsoft announces the console at E3 2019 and confirmed by the name of the Game Awards 2019, promising a system that will set a new bar for performance, speed, and compatibility. Halo Infinite has been confirmed as a launch game for the Xbox Series X, so Microsoft looks to be coming out of the gate strong for console launch period, especially since we still have no idea what the PS5 launch games could be during the same holiday season. Below, you'll find everything you need to know about the next-gen follow-up to Xbox One, including details about the Xbox Series X price, release date, and more. Well, it doesn't say how much it's going to cost. It'll probably be $500. Most likely. It looks kind of slick, though, man. This thing's pretty sweet. Release date. Well, yeah. Holiday 2020. Duh. How much will it cost? They're saying speculation is around $500. PS4, that's fine. What could be the series that costs more, and they're thinking around $500. We're going to see what comes out with it. I mean, Xbox has a big enough fan base that no matter what goes on with it, the people will buy it. Yo, I found you that Xbox. What it looks like.
Boom, guess who's back?
See that? That's what it looks like.
Oh. Wacky.
See, that's what the top looks like.
Oh, jeez, boy.
Everything's falling apart.
I know. I blame the winter. Fucking Mother Nature's a real bitch.
What, is it cold out?
Yeah, it's real cold. Like, it's windy, too.
You gonna be scared to drive home again?
No. I'm a New Yorker. Nothing scares me in the winter.
Bullshit. You wouldn't drive over here, or you wouldn't drive over one
night.
That
was because I was a bitch back then. Now I'm a real man.
That one night you were like, I want to hang out and all this stuff, and then you were too scared to drive.
I was a bitch back then. I'm a real man now. I'm a real fucking man.
But yeah,
fucking DZ comes over. He's like, "Shut the fuck up, you little kid."
So I edited my list.
Okay. I just got my wallet. I was like, man.
But yeah, so I edited my list. So I got 16 now.
Okay.
So we'll go through our list, and you can start. You can start with start with your 16th.
All right. So my 16th game is Grim Dawn. Shout out to
Yo, what the fuck is Grim Dawn?
Yo, first off, shout out to Professor Andrew Nicholson for showing me this. So it's like Diablo.
Grim Dawn.
Well, it's like Diablo, but it's so much better. So this is the game that like I'll play and I'll get lost, but I don't care because it's so fun.
So what's it about?
Basically the story is some cult is trying to like summon this evil deity back in. But what you are doing is basically you're trying to stop them. There's a bunch of quests, side quests, and there's DLC. So after you complete that storyline, there's a lot more to it. Think of it as like zombies have arisen. But yeah, but other than that, like, that's the game. Like, I love it because it's like with Divinity. I'll get lost and I'll totally forget what I'm even doing, and I'll like zone back into like, man, what am I really doing? And I'll be like, whatever, and keep going.
So what else about the game do you like? Like, what compels you to really keep playing the
game? Creativity. In this game, you pick 2 classes. You don't just pick one, so you're not just like you're not an assassin. You're not just an assassin. You're not just a hunter, but you can be a necromancer, assassin, at the same time. You can be a paladin necromancer. Literally, just that's the most ironic thing ever. Or it's the creativity.
So it's a dungeon crawler,
basically. Yeah.
So a dungeon crawler was your 16th.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't say so. Mine, they're not similar, but it's a PC game as well.
Yeah, PC game.
16 for me. I put a tie between 2 games. I lumped them in the same category: Civilization and XCOM.
Yeah, those are good.
Because I love strategy games. I put so many hours in playing Civilization on my laptop or on my PC. I love Civilization, dude, because you basically get to rewrite history. You've played Civ. No. We've got all of us on it once. It's a blast. Because you do the most scumbag shit to each other on Civilization. Make peace treaties and break them, and then all of a sudden your dudes are on someone's border getting ready to handle shit.
Civilization Revolution was the most broken title they had.
Was that the one? That was on Xbox?
Yeah, but here's the best part.
It was on console.
Yeah, but here's
Civ 6 is on console now.
Well, here's the thing, though. On Revolution, the Manhattan Project was a wonder. Now, here's the thing. You can get it, but here's the thing. It took 5 turns to get it.
Wait, you get the Manhattan Project as a wonder?
Yeah, it was a wonder, yeah.
Don't you just kill everyone with that?
Yeah. You just nuke everybody.
Yeah, but like, how did they let you get it as a wonder?
I don't know.
That's weird. You get it in 5 turns, and you're Donsky.
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy. More,
but still, it's insane.
For those of you out there who don't know what Civilization is, Civilization's a game where you essentially can pick any type of map you want. You can either pick, like Aaron's always like, True Start, play True Start, True Start, True Start, True Start,
the Indians, the Britons, we're leaving Britain.
Aaron likes to play with the map is the actual globe of the Earth, like the current continents, and then play True Start. And then, so you, like, it's our actual globe. And whatever civ you use, you start where they start. The problem is, if you use a European civ, you're fucked because like the game will spawn and you could be, say, France and Spain and England and Russia and Germany, and then
I wouldn't even want to be French.
You'll have Egypt to your south, and you're just surrounded. You're like, but I'm just saying, if you use a European team, right off the rip, you're fighting against people. Right off the rip.
Yeah, no, it's
all condensed.
It's a competitive game. I mean,
but I'm a wicked scumbag. When Aaron's like, let's play True Start, I use Australia. So no one can fuck with me in the beginning. And I'm out on Australia all by myself. And I just build Australia up, dude. It's great. And no one can touch me. Yeah, and I build up my navy. I'm like, come get it.
Continent, man.
Dude, I play as Australia against Aaron because he wants to play True Start every time. I build my navy up and my defensive up. And I just build up my trade routes. And I just stack money and play defense. I tell Aaron if he wants it, come get it, dude. I'll fuck him up. But yeah, that's what I do. And then XCOM is a turn-based strategy game, basically where aliens are trying to take over the world, and you get to fully customize your own organization it's like this like organization that freedom fights against the aliens. It's wicked dope. All the characters are fully customizable, guns customizable.
Oh yeah, and
it's turn-based. It's great. I love that game.
Didn't you name one of the characters Aaron?
Oh no, I made all of us on one file.
Yeah,
I made you, Punani.
Well, what was I then? What was the class?
Your guy was a tech guy. Like,
okay, that's good.
You had like a drone and shit.
That's exactly how I would be.
It's pretty sweet. So, what's your 15th favorite game of all time?
Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star Wars.
Listen,
go for it.
The thing is, I've never seen a Star Wars movie except for the first one. I learned more about the story of Star Wars.
What's a Lego game in here?
Yeah. I learned more about Star Wars through a Lego game than like actually sitting down and listening to like the
That's
books.
Funny.
And it was, dude. What was cool is if you collected all the things in Lego Star Wars 1, all the secrets, it would actually let you play the first mission of Lego Star Wars 2. And I did that.
That's
and
interesting.
Even in Lego Star Wars 2, dude, you can customize, and I guess I'll use a Saga as the title because it has everything. But in the second game, you could customize your own Lego guy. What I would do is I would take Boba Fett's ability to fly, and there's another guy who you can use to send out like a bomb or something. And what would happen is I would fly up and throw the bombs everywhere, and kaboom, just flatten out a whole area of just enemies. I loved it, and there's a lot of stuff you can mess with in that game.
That's funny.
It was just the creativity with it too. That's what I really liked.
So my 15th, I lumped 2 games in again as one. Halo 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Dude, we used to play so much Halo back in the day.
See, the thing is,
and then Halo 3 was the pinnacle of online. Halo 3's online.
I played Halo ODST. That's what I played.
Dude, my cousin Jake and I would literally stay up all day for days and play Halo, trying to beat it on Legendary and try to do all the achievements and find the skulls and stuff. Dude, it was awesome. Dude, that first scene in Halo, that one scene in Halo 2 where you first get the warthogs and you're fighting in the streets, coming over the top, blasting shit, dude. Remember when you first play the first one and you fight the Flood for the first time?
Oh
and you're like,
God.
oh shit, trying to get out of there. You're like, it's fucking crazy. Flood will fuck you up.
Dude, when I played the first one, I saw the Flood. I'm like, are those zombies? Because they were.
I don't know much about Halo's lore, but those things were pretty wild.
I don't know much about them, but I was looking at them. They're pretty cool. My favorite game mode for multiplayer though, zombies. Because what you do is
there's a zombies mode.
I don't think it was. Maybe.
No, I think it was like a flood. I think it was the flood mode.
Yeah, the flood mode, yeah.
But was that in the third one?
I don't know.
I don't remember it being in 1 or 2.
I don't know.
But you were saying the flood mode?
Flood mode's pretty... Because what you do is, in flood mode, you would... If one person started as the flood, and you would have to melee somebody until... So once you killed somebody, they were the flood. You would run around with shotguns, a lot of ammo and grenades, and you had to protect yourself against the flood. So we basically had to survive 5 minutes.
It's kind of like Horde.
Yeah, basically.
Speaking of Horde, I thought about putting Gears 1 and 2 on here, but Halo's still better than Gears. Sorry. Yeah. So where are we at right now? You're on your 14th?
Give me a second to grab my list. It's on my phone, so... Number 14! Prey. You ever heard of that?
The newest Prey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Dude, I've been playing it, and...
Dude, you could do some wild stuff on that game. The physics in the game and stuff like that.
Dude, what makes it fun for me...
Have you seen some of the shit people can do on that?
No, not yet.
So are you still playing it, or did you beat it?
Still playing it.
Okay.
So the thing is what I like about it is just...
It's an underrated game.
Yeah, it really is. Because here's the thing, what makes it more scary for me is that you don't... Because the mimics will mimic any object.
Dude, they'll fuck you up.
Yeah, no. I played it on the normal I played on the normal difficulty, and man, you gotta be careful because them fuckers will come out of nowhere. You'll see if you see something out of place, immediately I smack it.
Oh yeah. That's how I was. If I seen anything move, I lobbed a grenade at it. I was like, die.
Dude. No, dude, and
dude, people don't understand. A lot of people didn't play Prey. Prey's a good game.
Yeah, no. We need some love for Prey, dude. It's a fucking amazing game. It has that BioShock feel. Remember that?
Yeah.
It has that feel, and it's so interesting.
It's funny you say BioShock. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
With that one?
Yeah.
You have anything more you want to say about Prey?
Give it a try. I got it on G2A. I got it for $7, and I've been playing it, and I really enjoy it because I'll play it with headphones on, and that's what makes it even better. And if you're looking for a game that will put you on edge, it's Prey, because, like I said,
it was pretty dope.
Because here's the thing, you don't know. Sometimes you don't know if they change. The big ones you might not change or anything, but it's the little ones that'll fuck you over.
Oh yeah. You're right. The big ones, they're easier to sniff out.
Yeah, but the small ones, dude, I'll tell you what. I was going through the first mission, didn't realize what's going on. I passed one of them. Instantly, they transform. What the fuck is that? And then I ran. And I'm like, dude, what is that? And then I got a gun. I'm like, it's I'm gonna cap some of them. So if I see something move, or I see I'll be honest with you, dude. My strategy is hit everything.
Just
smack it all.
Whack it with a wrench.
Yeah, whack it with a wrench. If it don't transform, then you're good.
So speaking of that, my number 13 game is BioShock. The original BioShock.
Yeah, dude,
Fucking love that game.
It was
Absolutely love that game. I love everything about that game, down to the
lore,
the artwork, the lore, the color palette.
Dude, the setting is
the atmosphere. It's just so atmospheric. Like when you swim to the island,
personally,
or the entrance, and then you're going down in there, dude, and you see everything. You're like, dude, what the fuck am I about to get myself into?
Yeah,
dude?
no. Remember when you were fighting the first Big Daddy, and is that the Daddy, right?
They free roam. I don't know if there's a particular time. I can't remember. I played it so long ago.
The first time you face one, it is the scariest thing, because
dude, it comes at you, dude.
And the thing is, like, if they see you, they don't stop. Like, they'll hunt you down.
It's kind of like what people wanted Nemesis to be in the original Resident Evil 3. That's getting a remake, by the way.
Awesome.
Just like Resident Evil 2 did.
Dude, so I don't know, like in BioShock 1 and 2 is great. I played the third one. It's not bad.
Oh, I love the third one. See, I get flack from my buddies. I think the second one's the weakest one. I didn't like playing as the fucking Big Daddy.
I can see that. I don't
like playing as mechs or anything that's big and mechanical and hunky.
So you didn't like Anthem then?
I didn't play Anthem. What do I look like, a fucking peasant? What do I look like to you, a fucking plebeian? You really think I played Anthem? What kind of question is that?
Dude.
But no, BioShock, one of my favorite moments in that game. Dude, remember when you fight when you first meet the Houdini splicers?
Oh my god, them fucking things are scary.
They're scary as fuck, dude. They come out of nowhere and they just disappear and shit.
Looked at them? Like,
get up close on them?
Yeah, dude, it's so...
They're creepy, the Houdini splicers.
And the thing is this too, like, it all, like, the lore and everything all makes sense. Like, you know, like, when you take the healing stuff to heal yourself, like that, and like, they're drugs.
Yeah.
They're just people that are on a withdrawal, or they took too many. So they're drug addicts, and that's what makes it even scarier.
Did you ever see We Happy View? That game, We Happy Few? I never played it. I'm told it's wicked buggy, so I never played it.
Yeah, no, I don't like games like that.
Yeah, I'm told it's so buggy that it's not worth playing. That's what I heard.
There are some fun bugs in games, but if it's like the whole game's buggy, it ain't worth it.
So what is your next game, dude?
All right, so number 13.
This is your 13?
Yeah, number 13 is Neo. Neo actually was a PS4 exclusive. It was until it came over to PC.
Wait, did we go back? I went first.
You went first. I came because I talked about Prey.
You had 16, right?
Yeah, I have 16.
Okay, so yeah, you're good. Go. What was your game?
My game was Neo.
Neo. I just picked that up for free on PlayStation Store, and I just started playing it.
It's so good.
Is it though? Like, I started playing it, and it didn't give me a real... No, it's not that. I don't think the hack and slash games are as hard as everyone makes them out to be, and I think they're overrated. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, is the story any good? Is the story good?
It's good. I love it.
So it's worth playing?
It's worth playing. I mean,
I'll try to play through it.
There's actually there's an actual story behind it all. I'm not going to tell you too much.
Okay.
But you're a foreigner helping out the Japanese.
I know that.
You're helping out the Japanese against some...
Why does your dude look like a white Japanese guy, though? Like a white samurai? He's like,
he's English.
Why does he got like a samurai's hair, though?
Because he had...
I'm still in the tower, and he's just shirtless with his hair.
Because in the original story, he got trained. Okay. That's why he looks like that.
Okay.
Because the original story that was based off of, he got trained. What makes it fun is... I can't really go into too much detail, but there's so many different ways to play it. You can use 2-weapon, you can use the hit, and there's different stances. I'm going to let you explore that, but I'm going to say this. If you can get Neo, get Neo.
I got it for free.
Yeah, dude.
I have it downloaded.
It's free for PS Plus, dude. Get it.
I got it.
It is one... I call it Ninja Souls-like because it is so fucking fun.
Yeah, I remember when I first seen it, I was like, man, I want to play that, but I picked it up.
What's funny is I actually got it for The thing is, like, I actually play on a PlayStation controller. When I play that game, I use a PlayStation controller. I don't fuck around with Xbox. I play PlayStation, dude. It's so fun. All right.
So my number 12 game is Zelda: The Ocarina of Time for Nintendo 64.
I never got to play that. See, I never got to start playing gaming till like PlayStation 2.
In my opinion, it's the greatest. It is this list is our favorite games, right? In my opinion, that's arguably the greatest / most important video game of all time, because Zelda Ocarina of Time had every single... it was the first game to have a real depth of gameplay mechanics in it.
Yeah.
And we've used those gameplay mechanics since. Like, you could lock onto shit with your bow and arrow and shoot it. Climbing mechanics, dodging mechanics.
It pioneered the
action adventure game.
Yeah, not even that. It laid the foundation out. Some of these games
for what games are today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no.
Great storyline, dude. It had all the shit with the horse and the fucking flute and all this stuff, dude.
I never played it, but I've seen so many.
I only played through it one time, but it was so good. That was when I was younger. But I put it on this list because I did like it, and I just think it's an important game to bring up in the scope of games. Yeah, it's a piece of gaming history. It's like gaming royalty. Like, if there's a Mount Rushmore of games, it's on there.
Yeah.
So what's your next game?
My number 12 is Destiny 2. Now, the reason I say that is this.
What was it?
Destiny 2.
Oh, God. How dare you. See, I knew we were going to start getting into muddy water here where we have such contrasting taste in games.
Listen, okay? Now, the reason I like this the most is because... Now, a lot of people will say the story just sucks. I agree with them. The story fucking sucks. But what makes it fun for me is kind of... I got over my online anxiety through Destiny 1.
Like, oh, word?
That's how I met some people online.
In Destiny 1's defense, when I bought that PlayStation right there, I wanted that glacier white PlayStation, but it's like kind of like a smoky color now because it's so old. If you look at it, it used to be like white. In order for me to get it, I had to get Destiny is the bundle, so I got it. I don't like Destiny at all, but I loved the PvP. It reminded me kind of like Halo, original Halo.
PvP is great.
PvP, I grinded on that for weeks until I bought other games.
Oh yeah, no, that. And the thing is, like, for me, it's just I'm the kind of idiot that likes mindless grinding. You know,
I don't like mindless grinding unless there's a real purpose for it. I mean, I've played RPGs where you grind kind of mindlessly, but like, I don't like the style of like, I don't like the fucking Division in Destiny for sure.
Oh yeah, no, but what my end goal is just to do the raids because that's because the raids are the best part of the game. You know, and just because I have buddies who play just, and they have the free version because Destiny is now free to play on Steam with light cross saving, and it's pretty cool. Like I said, if it's a great, I think it's a good game. So
you like it for what it did for your mind and psyche, but like, what about the game did you like?
Kind of just, I'm a collector for anything that's like exotic. So
you're a hoarder.
Yes. I think, in honesty, dude, I just love just going. I mean, it's something for me to do. If I'm not really in the mood to play like Neo or, you know, some of the games that are coming up, I'll play that. You know, if I got something I want to do, it's something to focus on, I can do it. You know, and there's always something to do because, you know, I just have so much going on in it. But it's kind of, I like to use it as either I'll focus on it, you know, and then I'll take a break and then I'll come back to it. I like to call it, basically it's my side bitch, so.
Side bitch, dog. Destiny 2. You said 2 or 1?
2.
So what did they do to improve 2 though?
They improved the leveling system. They improved the weapons. They've improved just it's a lot of things. There's a huge list. I can't really think of it on top of my head, but the things that stand out the most, Destiny 2 when it launched, I'll be honest with you, Evan, was dog shit. 100% dog shit.
I could have told you that.
Yeah, no, not even that, dude. I hated it when it first came out. When it came out and I got it for Xbox, I'm like, fuck this, I'm going back to Destiny 1. And I played Destiny 1 for like an extra month. You know, when they had that going on. No one fucking played it. Because it was so dog shit. It didn't get better until like Forsaken came out, and that's a DLC, and I'm like, I didn't want to pay for fucking DLC, but okay.
I'll give you some Forsaken.
Fuck yeah.
So my number 11 game is Metal Gear Solid 4.
I'm on 12. Oh, I'm on. Okay, yeah.
I'm on 11. Metal Gear Solid 4. So Metal Gear Solid 4. Listen to this.
Okay.
I loved my PS2 so much, and I loved my Xbox 360 so much that I held off getting a PS3 for the longest time, which PS3 ended up not being that great of a console.
I like the titles on it, but we'll talk about some other.
But I literally, only reason why I bought a PS3 was, and I'm happy I did because later another game on my list ended up coming out on PS3. But I literally only bought a PS3 because Metal Gear Solid 4 came out, and you know how much I love Metal Gear Solid, and I'm like, I gotta have this shit. So Metal Gear Solid 4 is Snake when he's old.
Oh, I know.
And he's like, he's in his 50s, dude. And it's so good because it was the first Metal Gear game where you had a lot more liberties and freedom to fuck with,
you could go as a box guy.
No, Metal Gear Solid 3, you play in a semi-open world where it's in the jungle and you gotta survive, and I'll talk about that later because obviously, as you already know, Metal Gear Solid 3 is on this list. But Metal Gear Solid 4 expanded upon that and expanded upon the gameplay and let you customize the guns. Dude, there was 50 some odd guns in the game. You can customize all of them in grave detail.
Damn.
And it had this dope, I would say it's between semi-open and open world. Like, it was pretty big, but it was a semi-open world. It kind of tried to funnel you in a specific direction. Mm-hmm. But dude, it was vertical as well as there was horizontal. Vertical as well as horizontal. You could climb up into buildings and stuff, so what was dope about Metal Gear Solid 4 is not only did I love the story, my buddy Mike didn't like the story. This is how much I've played the Metal Gear Solid games. I've beat Metal Gear Solid 4 many times, and it's a long game.
I have experience. I am an official Metal
I'm not
Gear
joking.
Solid,
it's a long
enthusiast.
game. I've probably beat it 5 or 6 times. In one night, dude, I power played it. I started around noon, and I played into the night at my buddy Mike's house. We ordered pizza, and he watched me play the whole thing from start to finish and beat it. And he didn't
You basically did a speed run.
Yeah, but I took my time, though. I didn't try to go through as fast as I could. I beat it in like half a day.
Dude, we're talking about speed runs sometime.
I beat it in like 12, 13 hours, something like that. But anyways, he wasn't a big fan of it because he didn't like the story. I don't think this story made much sense to him. And like, you know how Hideo Kojima is. His stories are all over the place. Hideo Kojima, he's a G. But we're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah.
But what I loved was it was old ass Snake, and you could just customize all his gear and stuff. The coolest aspect of that whole entire game is you're doing, what Snake does out there, spying around, zoom, doing his thing, right? In between, in the middle of a war, there's 2 factions fighting. And so as you're traveling through this world, dude, you're trying to navigate the streets of these like Middle Eastern lands and stuff, in Northern African lands, and everyone around you is just fighting. They're like, if they'll see you, they'll attack you, but they're fighting each other. So what you could do is you could start helping one of the sides, and I always help the rebels. I'll start killing the bad guys, and if you start doing that enough, the rebels stop attacking you, and they'll give you ammo. And they'll be like, oh, it's that guy again.
Oh my god,
he's got our back, dude. It's wicked sweet, like that. Dude. It was so fun. I would just, you could literally
feel like
dude, it feels real. You could crawl up on a whole den of rebels and just get right up next to them in the bunker and like look over the edge of the bunker, and they see you. They're like, they're like, he's got our back and all this stuff. And then we're like looking downrange, start putting shots on dudes and shit, dude. I love Metal Gear Solid 4, but what's your next one?
All right, so number 11, I'm going to do a quick shout out. I'm going to shout out my friends Ember and Mike. Greatest fucking people I've met.
Tell them to follow the podcast.
Yeah, I met them this semester.
Shout out. What are their names?
Mike and Ember.
Ember and Mike.
Yeah.
Holla at your boy.
And, Mike was my tutor for accounting, so we became good friends through that. And I appreciate him and everything. And, recently was my birthday. It was December 16th.
Happy birthday, Big Kyle. How old are you? 22 old. Now, dude.
Yeah,
Let's go, dude.
It's nutty.
Let's go. Nutty, bro. I'm going to be 30.
Dude, and so they're like, hey, we want to get you something. I'm like, okay. And, and I was like, well, you don't really need anything, I like having you as friends. They're like, well, no, we're going to get you something. I'm like, okay. So I gave him a title, and I was like, well, if you can't afford it, it's fine. And they're like, oh, no, we got you. And they sent it to me. Sakeo Shadows Die Twice. It is a fucking fun game.
I'm told by a buddy of mine that it's really good. A buddy of mine's going to let me borrow it.
And I'll be honest with you, thank you guys. I know I haven't said it yet, but thank you. I appreciate you guys. I plan on literally just grinding that out, and I've been having a great time with it. It's fun. It's just like I said. I appreciate them. Thank you. And Another thing too, what I like the most about it is that you are a ninja, you are a samurai, and the combat, you don't get a shield. You have to learn to parry. That's how you learn to parry. So I've been using an Xbox controller. I'm actually gonna switch out from that to a PlayStation controller, see how that goes. But I love it. It's so fun. Because you actually need to like you actually like need to learn and practice. And that's what I like about some games is when like skill shows more than.
I heard this one's actually brutal. I'm told it's not your regular hack and slash game. I'm told you feel like a straight samurai after you play that shit. My buddy told me it's like it feels like, he said the way the learning curve is and how hard it is and the way it's all put together, he goes, when you take shit out, you feel like a fucking badass.
Dude, taking out a mini boss is so fucking rewarding. Because I was dying this guy so much. And the game will penalize you if you die so many times. And the thing is, I've died so many times that I got like something called Dragon Rot. Which basically is...
Dragon Rot?
Dragon Rot, yeah. There's more to it, but... It basically... so
Dragon Rot.
A lot of... Like, your NPCs will start getting sick. So if you keep dying...
You can get NPCs in it?
Yeah, there's NPCs.
What?
Yeah, they'll get sick. And the thing is, they might die if you die too much. So the thing is, when I beat that mini boss, dude, I've never felt so happy. I felt like I just fucking broke through a wall, like fucking Kool-Aid Man saying, "Yo, yeah!"
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, dude, it's a great game. Thanks, Mike and Ember. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So,
my buddy Gage is gonna let me borrow it supposedly.
Yeah.
So, what number was that for you?
That was 11.
Okay, so number 10 for me is the Red Dead Redemption games. Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 would have already... Red Dead Redemption 1, if Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't exist, 1 would have been on this list, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I lumped them together into 1. I personally, though, I love Red Dead Redemption 2 way more than I love Red Dead Redemption 1. And I love the story of Red Dead Redemption 1. I love John Marston. Everything, he's an all-time iconic character, right? And the ending of that game was so amazing. The world that they made was so amazing with all the characters. But dude, it's nothing. It pales in comparison to Red Dead Redemption 2. The characters are amazing with the graphics. It's brought to life. The gameplay. You feel like a straight up Okie from Muskogee out there, dude.
It makes you feel like a cowboy,
dude.
You just yeet your last off,
boy. Everything down to all like the minute details, the voice acting. I was playing one day. The details are so tiny and just amazing in this game. Listen, I was playing one day, and I was just fishing, and then I turned and there was I was fishing by a bridge.
Okay.
In the bridge was this bridge where it was kind of designed where you can kind of walk up the fucking beam. Mm-hmm. And I walked all the way up the beam and I started walking across the beam. And originally I was going to try to cast from up there, which you can do. And all of a sudden I'm standing there and there's this gorgeous view. And it goes, press X. I'm like, no way. I'm like, is this what I think it is? I hold and press X. And Arthur sits down on the beam. Pops the squat and hangs his legs over the side, and you just sit there and the camera angle goes behind you and you could just see the Louisiana bayou and people working the bayou.
When I was on an alligator,
people working and the animals doing their thing. Like the game is just so amazing. Not to mention the gameplay is amazing. Just I could go on and on about how awesome that game is.
I really
the ending was good. I do, however, felt like the ending could have been a little bit better, but it was still good. I don't know if you finished it. I beat it twice.
I haven't played it yet. Well, I've seen it.
You can make some choices that affect the end. I didn't like how Arthur. You probably won't play it and beat it.
The problem is just I haven't.
If you know anything about Red Dead Redemption's story, Arthur dies in the game.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, and like I didn't like how he died. I would have rather have Arthur go down in some wild like blaze of glory. Like he definitely goes down in glory.
Like robbing.
But he gets tuberculosis in the game and dies fucking horribly and slowly. And the only reason why he dies in the end is because he's so beat up from tuberculosis that it takes every fiber of his being to kill the bad guys and defend himself. And then he eventually dies after. because the tuberculosis just overwhelms him. It's like
an honest to God kind of thing with that. Kind
and
of
he's
stuff.
an amazing character. He's a way better character than John Marston. He's an amazing character. Arthur Morgan, one of the greatest characters ever made in all of video games. John Marston's an all-time character too, but Arthur Morgan's character is way better. Way better.
Yeah.
It's such a good game. I love that game. Everything you do, the hunting, the fishing, the traveling. People are like, oh, you play slow and all stuff, dude. That's what gaming's for.
Though. The thing is this.
That's what gaming's for. If you want to play quick games, go play Rocket League and fucking shooters. Like, I don't know.
Don't diss Rocket League, dog.
Dude, fuck Rocket League, bro. It looks too tedious. I would never sit down and play that shit. I got FIFA. Why would I play that?
All right.
You're at 10 now.
Yeah, I'm at 10. So, this is an old game, man. I remember this when I was a kid. Me and my best friend Chris would always fucking play this shit. Every time we'd hang out, it was this game, War of the Monsters.
What is that?
What it was is
you know a lot of games I don't know.
So the thing is, it's a PS2 game. What it was is you could basically become a giant fucking monster and you beat the shit out of
I know what you're talking about now that you describe it.
You literally beat the shit out of each other. And there's mini games and it's so fucking
You could become
fun.
like Godzilla, right?
Godzilla, fucking Mothra, the giant robot that like beats the shit out of everybody. You know, you can be freaking King Kong. All these like all these old like classic movie creatures all put into a game and it's so fucking awesome. Like my buddy got for PlayStation for like PS4 and I'm just like, dude, we have to play sometime.
That's an interesting one. Where am I at?
Yeah.
Oh, number 9 is a game, like I said, which made this game of Metal Gear Solid 4 made the PS3 purchase worth it for me. And this is the thing. And here's the thing. Okay. I already talked to you about how much I love Metal Gear Solid 4. This game I'm about to talk to you about, you might find it weird that it's high on my list. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I'm looking at my list now. It could have gone. You know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for... I'm going to edit my list. I'm moving it up. I can't
I'm moving
realize.
it up, boys.
I can't believe I put it down here.
Man, it's really quiet now. I guess we'll keep talking about something. But, no, back to War of the Monsters, though, dude, like, that game is so fucking fun. I remember, and you got, like, mini games, dude. One of the mini games was you could fly, you would throw, one character would throw you, and you would have to try to do as much destruction as you can in the time allotted. So you have to beat your buddy before the time ran out in, destruction. And dude, it was so fun. Just picking the characters, fighting each other, their combos. It was so fucking fun.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Okay, so I had to adjust this because you know what I started doing? I think I was just writing them down as they came to me, and I didn't flush the list out as far as where I placed these. I'm at number 9 now. Resident Evil 4 is my number 9 game. So the problem, there's only one issue I had with Resident Evil 4. Mm-hmm. Well, there's 2 issues. I love everything about that game, except for the only thing I don't like about the game is the mechanics for shooting are rough. Like, you can't move and shoot at the same time. You have to come to a dead stop. And it makes it so you can aim everywhere, unlike the old Resident Evil games.
I hated that.
But you can't move and aim your gun at the same time, but you can on the new Resident Evil games. The new remakes, you can. But that being said, I loved everything about that game. Gun customization, story, Leon, you run around saving some hot-ass president daughter bitch, fucking run around, damsel in distress, you're just fucking taking all these creatures and zombies out, dude. The setting, the atmosphere of that was so good. The atmosphere.
I remember watching you play it, dude. And
I used to stream it, dude. When you get into the castle...
Oh, it gets...
Dude, that is a creepy place to play. It still creeps me out to this day, that castle. When you go into the maze with the dogs
Oh no!
And they're just jumping out of like the fucking all over the place. Or when you
that shit, I get scared of.
Or when you fight did you see me fight the fucking thing that looks like like something off Aliens?
I don't think I did.
It's the all black alien looking thing that. So when you fight this dude, this little dude, what the fuck is his name? He's a little guy. He's this creepy little guy. His name is it's Lord Sadler's son or whatever.
Sagnuts, what?
Sagnuts, Lord Sadler. Or whatever. I think it's Lord Sadler. He's got these two henchmen, and they're in red and black cloaks. Mm-hmm. And you go into these tunnels under the castle, and there's like generator rooms and shit down there. Mm-hmm. You fight this creepy thing down in like the darkness of the fucking catacombs of the thing. Dude, that thing comes at you hard and fast. It's hard to fucking kill. It's a bitch. But dude, everything about that, the mechanics, how you can stun zombies and you just fucking pelt them with a kick and send them flying. The weapons. The little dude with the shop dude. What are you buying? Remember him?
What are you buying, mate?
What are you buying?
All day. I need you to buy something.
Yeah, what are you buying? That's a good... What does he say?
That's a good deal right there.
He's like, that's a good one, stranger. He calls you stranger all the time.
Stranger.
Oh, no. He'd say, not enough cash, stranger.
Enough cash, stranger. Get the fuck out of my shop, stranger.
In the enemies in it, I knew that was going to happen. The enemies, it's good. Don't worry about it. Okay. The enemies in it were absolutely amazing. Love Resident Evil 4. But what the problem with that game is, though, it took... I wouldn't even consider the original game survival horror games. The only aspect about the survival horror in the early Resident Evil games was you didn't get a lot of ammo. You had to conserve your fucking ammo. But to be fair, in those Resident Evil games, you kind of could just run away and run around everything. Like, you could beat those first Resident Evil games really fast if you just run.
Oh, yeah, no.
But it turned Resident Evil to an action-adventure game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in honesty, when it comes to survival horror games, in my opinion... I don't think there's such thing as survival horror except for like Dying Light.
There's a couple real survival horror games on PC, like The Forest.
Yeah, no, I actually have that. Yeah, I'll say that one is. But
there's a few.
But the thing is, though, it takes a lot to make it like an actual survival horror compared to like
Hawkster. So, what up, dude? We're podding, bro.
I don't know.
Hawkster's home from school.
Yeah.
We'll talk to him after.
Yeah, we will. But
So yeah, Resident Evil 4. What's your number 9 game?
Spyro 3: Year of the Dragon.
Dude, I thought about putting Spyro maybe as like an honorable mention. I love the Spyro games. Dude, I need to buy the trilogy. It's on PS4.
I have it on PC.
Is it fun? Is it remastered? Is it great?
So here's the thing. So the second one, third one were voiced by the guy who fucking voices SpongeBob.
I don't know. Big D would know. He watches SpongeBob all the time.
Well, here's the thing though too. So the guy that actually voiced SpongeBob voiced Spyro 2 and Spyro 3. What they did was they took him and he redid the Spyro 1, so it's all consistent. The reason I'm putting it as number 9 is because I remember playing this as a kid.
Me too.
When, my parents like watching me play, and I was at like the final boss, and I'm like, I gotta do this, man. What the heck, man? Mom, I'm trying to do this. And, as a kid, I didn't realize what's going on, and back then, I didn't realize I needed glasses, so it's kind of a blur for me. And, oh my gosh, I'll be honest with you, when I beat that
kind of a blur.
So when I beat that fucking boss, dude, instant fucking win, instant fucking gratification.
There you go.
And when I beat her, I went fucking back and did all the fucking skateboard shit. This skateboard shit, dude.
I forgot you could skateboard that shit.
Yeah, dude. And I would spend hours on just skateboarding, just to mess around, because it was so fun. Because like once you get it down, you can do some crazy shit, and just the high scores, it's awesome.
Dude, Spyro's all time, dude. That shit's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I love it so much. What I'm doing right now is I'm going through a playthrough where I'm going to go through 1, 2, and then 3. I'm going to beat 1, then beat 2, and then beat 3. Oh,
so, I know, I agree with you. I love Spyro. It's so good.
Fun.
So this one always catches flack from people because, and I'm going to defend it because I like it for different reasons. And by no means am I saying it's the best one. Number 8 on my list is Final Fantasy X.
Isn't that the one with Cloud?
No, that's 7. 7 and 6 are the best ones.
Oh wait, is this the one with like the guns?
This is 10, Final Fantasy X. This is the one with Titus and Yuna, and there's the that big creature Sin is coming to
the soccer ball, right?
Yeah, sphere ball.
I remember that. Yeah, that was
Blitz ball.
I haven't played it, but
the town's called Spira. Cool. That's why I'm saying it.
Dude, the setting for Final Fantasy, as much as you want to say, is fucking awesome.
So listen, the problem with Final Fantasy is I have not played a Final Fantasy in like 10 years. I've not played... Listen, man. Final Fantasy X-2 was the last Final Fantasy I've made. None of the newer Final Fantasies have looked interesting to me, especially the last one. 15 looked corny as shit. A bunch of emo dudes running around.
I played 15,
not into
15 and I got halfway through and I said, you know what? No.
And you know what's funny? People would give me shit for the fact that I just don't... You got to kind of relate or like really be interested in a character. In order to want to play a game. And people go, oh, and like be like, I'm trying to be mean because I'm making fun of the fact that they're just like these emo dudes. I'm not into it. I've played games with female characters. I'm wicked into the character. Like there's been some phenomenal female characters, but those dudes, Lara Croft, Bayonetta, Ellie, but dude, Samus,
yeah.
Yuna from Final Fantasy. There's tons of but that Final Fantasy in particular, 15, just the characters. I wasn't into it. I wasn't into the characters. I wasn't into the way the story looked. And
at first, it was okay, but then I think halfway through it, I realized something, and it was an awakening for me. And I said, "What the fuck am I doing?" Because I was doing all these quests, gathering all these materials, and I'm like saying to myself, I'm like, I'm halfway through it. You know, the story is slow as shit. And don't get me wrong, I understand it's a big story. It's a fucking book. My issue is this. If the story's too slow for me, I get uninterested. Like, if a story only gives me so think about it like this for me. For me to get interested in a story, you gotta give me context. You gotta give me things.
It's gotta move you.
It's gotta because here's the thing.
It's gotta move you.
Because in the first scene, you see them they're prime, where they're fighting the big bad guy, and then it cuts to them how they started, and there's time skips, and I'm like, look, don't get me wrong, I like playing long games, what was the long game I fucking played? I remember fucking playing, oh my god, I'm trying to think. On PlayStation, I remember fucking playing I don't remember. It was a game that had just the longest story ever, and I played it and I beat it. But the thing is though, the game gave me enough to make me interested. If you give me too little, I'm just gonna get bored.
Yeah, I've played games that have good mechanics and all these other things, and I don't care what anyone says. If you're still talking about the way graphics look in 2020, dude, all the graphics are good on almost every game, so I don't want to hear about graphics. But I've liked a lot about games. If the story's not compelling, I'm kind of just ugh.
Dude, I watched some YouTubers play this this Atari horror classic, dude, and it's better than some of these fucking horror games coming out now.
But yeah,
is good.
So Final Fantasy 6 and 7 are the two best ones.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't played Final Fantasy 6, but a lot of people played Final Fantasy 7. But Final Fantasy 10, the reason why I like Final Fantasy 10 so much.
7's worth so much damn money. It's worth over $100 if you find an actual disc.
10 came out during a time when I was coming into my teenage years. And
I was a kid back then.
Yeah, I was in my early teenage years when 10 came out, 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved all the characters. You feel as though you could relate to every single character. You have Titus, who's this kid who's lost, doesn't have a family, doesn't know what happened to his dad and all these other things. And he gets washed up on this. Yeah, he's washed up onto this island and he's insecure, even though he's this big blitzball star. And, you got Yuna, who's got a who no one knows. She's going to be going on this pilgrimage to collect all the Aeons, which are these creatures that you could summon into battle, right? This chick's got to go on a friggin' pilgrimage, right? To collect all the gay Aeons so she can raise this one massive Aeon to fight this creature called Sin that's coming to destroy the world, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember
But
that
here's the thing. You don't know the whole entire story that when you get to the end of this pilgrimage, she's got to sacrifice her life to defeat Sin. And then you got like all her summoners in the group, Waka, Luna, all these Orin, all these other characters. They all have different contrasting personalities, right? But all care about each other, but all have to deal with the weight of the fact that we're all going on this pilgrimage together to save the world, but yet the woman that we're sworn to protect who we love is gonna give her life. It's just a story about love and sacrifice and friendship. It's just an amazing game. I love that game, and I don't give two fucks what anyone says.
And that's what makes a great game for me. If as the graphics. Fuck graphics. I don't need great graphics.
And the graphics were amazing for the time. The cinematography, the best of any video game at the time.
Oh, yeah, but here's the thing, though, Evan. It's like, now, like, because nowadays a lot of stories are cookie cutter. You know, but when you find something like that that's like a gem in the rough.
Well, it definitely wasn't a diamond in the rough. I mean, it was a big game. It made a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, but dude, like, it was. But still, like, I love storytelling in games because that's what makes you interested. The character building, how characters change, that's what keeps people.
And the characters all have a good arc in that game. Yeah. Like they start out being one way, and their arc starts to round out. They change. Some of them stay the same, but for good reason. Like I love that game. When you are in a serious battle and all of a sudden you bust your Aeon out, you feel like a savage. You're about to summon. You summon Ifrit and hit someone with Hellfire, dude. It's a fucking rap, dude.
Wow.
But yeah, what's your next game?
Don't laugh at me for this.
What? Where are we at? That was my 8th.
We're at number 8. Now, so there's some context to this. The number 8 that I picked was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Now listen.
Okay, I loved Dragon Ball Z when I was younger. I didn't play a lot of the games though.
This was a third-person fighting game. You would beat the shit out of the people, and the reason I love it so much is because, dude, it was so fucking fun. I learned more about the Dragon Ball Z universe and how the stories were through that game. You know, I learned GX. I learned what was in the Majin Buu saga, the Frieza saga. Like, I recently watched the anime for, like, I want to say up to the Frieza saga, and I said no. I couldn't do it. It was too short of every episode. Like, my buddy Chris, he's fucking watching all. Shout out to Chris, I can't do it. I can't fucking sit there and watch, little tidbits. I know it's gotten better with the newer stuff, but I'm not really into that. But the thing is, too, is just that game, I'm not going to lie, I sold it for $40. That PS2 game was worth $40 because it's the best one. And the thing is, there was a tournament game mode where if you took a character and you could get all the Dragon Balls, and oh my god, dude, it was so nutty because you would get it, and you would be like, and you would get all of them, and you could, get a character. So there was so much replayability because in the levels when you're fighting like a certain character, you can actually hunt for the Dragon Balls. And you can get Broly, you can get some characters that you're missing.
I didn't watch anything past Dragon Ball Z. A couple of my buddies were like, yo, watch Super.
I seen some of Super. Don't get me wrong, I like the fights. I feel like that's kind of it. I haven't really sat down and said, I want to watch it.
Dragon Ball is older than me. Dragon Ball started in the late 80s, like 87.
Not to put some knowledge on you, but what happened was Dragon Ball.
Drop it, dude. Drop the knowledge.
Dragon Ball was originally based on Wukong. Now Wukong is a god he was a stone monkey.
Was that a traditional Japanese dish?
Mm-hmm. And Wukong? He was a stone monkey who basically is immune. Wukong was basically a stone monkey that became the king of monkeys. And he went to the dragon, and he got this he literally ripped off a pole out of the fucking temple the water dragon is. He shrunk it, and it's the thing weighs 1,700 tons. And this dude's holding it like it's nothing. Wukong is a fucking monster. And the gods of that era said that, holy shit, we need to get Wukong somewhere. And they put Wukong into the palace. Wukong ate this fucking fruit that made him immortal. Another some pills that made him immortal. And some more shit made him immortal.
So he's immortal.
Yeah, he's immortal. He's triple immortal. And he fought like the strongest guys, and man, was he. He was a trickster. He, like I said, if you look into it, dude, it's great. It's great stuff. There's a YouTube channel. I think they're like sketches, dude. And like I said, I recommend them. If you are ever looking for like some books and shit to listen to, Wukong, in my opinion, is the best. And it's like
Wukong,
and that's what it's based off of. That's what Dragon Ball was based off of. Was Wukong. All right, number 7.
So my number 7 pick, I don't know if you've played this. This is another one that catches flack because not a lot of people have played it, probably. My number 7 pick is Harvest Moon.
I haven't played it.
You ever play Harvest Moon?
No, I haven't.
Harvest Moon came out back on the PlayStation 2.
Okay.
And it's one of my favorite video games of all time. So basically what the Harvest Moon is this game where you play as this kid. You could be a boy or a girl. You could pick.
Or some... Oh, we can't do that. Never mind. We were,
oh, Jesus, Kyle. I mean, Kyle's about to get off into the weeds. This is not one of those podcasts tonight, Kyle.
I'm not doing that right now. Let me pull it back in.
You might not get a job for the rest of your life if you go that route.
I probably won't, but I'll make do.
Anyways. Harvest Moon is a game where you play as a kid. You get to make them a girl or a guy or whatever you want. And you get a letter one day that your grandfather's passed away, right? And your grandfather lives in another place.
Well, that hits too close to home. But
again. Anyways, you get the letter and you're asked to go to his home, right? And apparently you didn't know that he had passed for a while or whatever. And you show up and he has this nice little house. It's just a plain house. An abandoned barn with silos, all this other thing, in this plot of land. And basically they wanted to get rid of the farm and sell it so they could build a mall there in the area or some shit. They were going to give all his land away. And apparently like he owns the bulk of the land there. So apparently it was like if you give if you decide if he left the farm in your name in hopes that you would take it over and restore the farm, because if you don't, if his land goes, then everyone else's land goes for some reason and they're going to tear it all.
Wasn't it because like he provided the food, which was what brought a lot of people in for the economy.
I don't know, something about like, it was going to go towards people that wanted to build shit, I'm pretty sure. So anyways, after, of course you say yes, right? Walmart. Probably a Walmart. Of course you're supposed to say yes.
It's a Walmart, dude.
Or an Aldi's. Or an Aldi.
True.
So, of course you say,
Google.
So you say yes. And dude, it is hands down. You want to talk about grinding? I played the fuck out of that game. You basically build your farm from the ground up, and it's so expansive. There's so much stuff you can do. You have to go through first and cut down all the grass that's grown. You got to collect all the wood that's out in the fields, till all the land, break down all the rocks.
See, I don't want to say anything about it because I never played it.
Dude, you need to play it. You could probably play Stardew Valley on PC. It's like it's like Harvest Moon on crack. It's on like
crack?
Yeah, it's
I
like
love crack.
I haven't played Stardew Valley enough. I played it when I was on vacation, but I haven't sat down and got into it. But I would be surprised if it's even half as good as the original Harvest Moon. But it was supposed to be like a paying homage to it, like a predecessor. So basically, you get a handful of years and you can do everything. You can raise chickens, sheep, cows. You can get a horse. You can get a dog. You can name all your animals. You got to constantly, you got to keep them fed, keep them warm.
Just name old Jeff.
Dude, you could just build. You could build. You can renovate your home, the farms. You can upgrade your equipment. So, for example, you get like your watering, your thing to water. You can go collect the right materials. You can go get it upgraded. So instead of doing one tile, you go like this and hawk back with it and go and squirt water on like 5 piles or tiles at once. And you literally have to like till the land, plant your seeds, water your seeds, and the weather changes, and tons of NPCs in the game. You can do festivals. Like, it has a little economy in the game. You got to go to stores for everything you need.
PS2?
Yeah, dude, it's great.
Christ,
and you build relationships with the people, and you start to learn about them, and you know what you like. So, like, the bartender at the saloon likes cupcakes. You bring her a cupcake. You could eventually get married and have kids.
Oh my god!
And all this shit, dude.
Dude, that's
it's hands down one of my favorite gaming series, dude. I'm telling you. I hear the music from Harvest Moon. It makes my hair stand up. It brings me back to when I was 12. And you learn about what's good about the game is it's like your first cinematic and gaming inklings into learning about like loss and relationships with people and stuff. You build strong bonds with people. Like I said, you can get married, and like you build the fucking farm up in your honor and your family's honor. And dude, there's events that go on, like the town will shut down on certain days for like holidays, and they'll do like competitions, like farm competitions, who has the biggest cow, horse races, fishing competitions, all kinds of stuff, dude. It's so good. Certain vegetables and plants and fruit you can only grow in specific seasons.
I gotta say something. Yo, Sims 4. Take some fucking notes here, dude. Take some fucking notes.
I played Sims back in the day.
Shit. No, my
sister loves Sims.
No, not even that. It's just The Sims. So many fucking expansions. Like, there's so many DLCs.
But yeah, Harvest Moon.
If Harvest Moon came out then, a little like one fucking
Harvest Moon's my number 6. Dude, what's yours?
Number 6.
Or that was my number 7. What's yours?
You were dissing it before. Rocket League. Fuck you.
This dude,
now,
Rocket League.
The thing is with Rocket League, though, now, here's my reasoning for it. It's exactly what you said.
I feel like you know what I'll say about Rocket League before you get into it? Mm-hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong. You know what Rocket League, one thing that looks dope about Rocket League? I feel as though since the game is a physics-based game, you have to actually get skilled at that game. There's no bullshit. It's not scripted. Like, you got to be good at that game to beat other teams. Like, if you're fucking people up in Rocket League, then you're legitly, like, good at Rocket League.
Yeah, my friend Giants, shout out to Giants. He's been fucking training me because he wants me to, like, be into it. And don't get me wrong, I like it. I like it. It's a good game. For me, it's interesting. Here's the thing. Now, I'm not a big fan of sports games. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm not either. Most of them suck. I play them, but
we can have a debate on it all day. But in my eyes, with soccer,
I love FIFA.
Soccer's a good game. I'll play FIFA.
The FIFA games haven't been good lately, though. They haven't been good in a while.
I'll play FIFA. Like, if any of the sports games, I'll play FIFA. But with Rocket League, though, what's interesting to me is that you're using a car. The concept alone is interesting. Plus, it's one of the deals where I can just, kick back, sit down, just play a quick game of comp. No, not quick game of comp. Quick game of casual and just have some fun. And it's cross platform, so me and my buddies on console will play. Funny story. Ryan, John, Jordan, and Chris, I wasn't on PlayStation, so they're like, well, we wanted to include you in a clan, so we named it Kyle. So I'm like, oh, that's nice. Big cow. And yeah, no, like I said, it's a fun game that I like to sit down and play with friends. But that's the thing too. That's the kind of game I can't take seriously. Like,
Rocket League?
Like Rocket League, don't get me wrong. It's fun to play.
This is your 7th. Wait, this is your 7th pick out of 16, and you're like, I can't take Rocket League seriously.
Well, because it's a fun game. I don't like taking games.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
I don't, because here's the thing. I'm picking based off of...
People get mad over that Rocket League, man.
Oh, my God.
They rage.
Oh, man. But I personally believe... because when I picked my list, I picked the games that I sit down and have fun. Just me enjoying them. And, I mean, dude, I played, over at least 200 games.
Right.
Some of them I don't even remember. All right, and then... Like I said, I love the concept, I love the customization, and I just love just chilling with friends, just sitting down playing a quick game. Like, hey, bro, you want to play a quick game? Like, yeah, sure. Just sitting down and just that availability. Because, I mean, you can be bad at it, yeah, but if you want to get good at it, it's there. Like, you can get that. You can get good. So, that's my opinion on it. I think it's a great, fun game with friends. And even if you play alone, that's fine. It's, I personally like it because it's just the availability where I can just sit down, plug my controller in, and just play a quick game.
Right.
Yeah, just it's not like that BS where like I'm kind of gonna shit on one thing. With CS, I have to like do all this, and there's such like a fucking like skill gap. It's nice just get into a game and have fun.
Sometimes it's that simple, you know. Sometimes some of the best games are simple. Just hop in, razzle dazzle.
Spyro actually, dude, when Spyro first came out. Did you know this? It actually got shit for only having 2 actual buttons for run and fire. It actually got shit for that, and I'm like, man, look at these games nowadays, man. There's so many fucking buttons.
Wait, that's crazy. It does only have 2 buttons, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's got squares. You can pull your head down to run, I thought, right?
Yeah, no, it's running, so it's charging, jumping, and breathing fire, and the hover. But here's the thing, though, like, compared to games nowadays, dude, there's, like, fucking 30 different damn combos you can do, and it's like, oh my fucking god.
So, my number 6 game is Knights of the Old Republic. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And I don't remember if I originally played it on the original Xbox, I think.
I never played it. I hate to say this. I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
See, here's the thing. We could talk about this for a second. We've been talking about this recently at work and at school and stuff. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I would say I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I'm a fan of Star Wars. About like as base level of a fan as you could be, and I will tell you why. The original Star Wars movies were awesome, and I know I got all these kids, these nerds nowadays, and those movies are older than I am. They're like, love all the new ones, and they love the ones from the early 2000s. The only thing I love out of the early 2000 ones, the lightsaber battles were fucking dope, but the movies themselves, they weren't that great. The reason why I like Star Wars is because that world has so much lore and just so much potential, and it's the fucking unknown. It's the universe. That being said, I think they flopped on probably 90% of Star Wars games made, and I'm told the new one's good. I don't know. I've seen it. I'm not too into it. I'm not into the character.
If you want to play a Star Wars game,
they're already making the second one.
Play Lego Star Wars. There you go. I'm
not playing Lego Star Wars. Anyways, Knights of the Old Republic is absolutely amazing. It's what a Star Wars game should be, and they need to make a Knights of the Old Republic 3 before I fucking get old and die. Dude, Knights of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic 1, absolutely amazing. Fully customizable character, name, everything. Just amazing characters that you care about. Mm-hmm. Dude, you go on this fucking journey of trying to stop this fucking Sith Lord. Turns out you end up being the fucking Sith Lord and you don't know it somehow. I'm pretty sure. It's or something like that. I haven't played it in forever. But it's just the customization, dude. You go to the Jedi Temple and you learn from like the ancient Jedis and fucking you start making your lightsaber and shit, building a lightsaber. It's fucking badass. Knights of the Republic is awesome. So many good characters in it. It's one of the first games where you can actually travel to other worlds. Like you don't actually fly there, but there's multiple multiple open world environments. Dude, that game was great.
Man.
And that was my number My number 6? Your 6 is what?
Number 6 for me is It's new. It's a new game, but
That's fine.
It's called Risk of Rain 2.
I don't even know what that is.
Now, you ever knew what a roguelike dungeon is?
I see.
Okay.
He goes, okay. So Dante has been getting out of me because I'm not into MMOs and dungeon crawlers and shit.
I know.
Because I just haven't found one that I like the concept, but I haven't found any MMOs or dungeon crawlers that do it for me.
No.
So is that what this is like? It's like a dungeon crawler?
Actually, no. It's different. So the concept is this: you are a operative. You start out with basic stuff, and you kill things, get money, and you buy these power-ups.
Sounds great already.
Now listen, you get these power-ups, and the reason it's a roguelike is because every run is different. Every single run and the thing that makes it more fun for me is that it's accessible. I can sit down. I'll play for like hours on end, trying to have like that god run where I have like it starts from like just shooting your little pistols to like fucking raining down fucking Hail Marys to like electricity and shit. Like you're fucking blowing the freaking shit up, and it's so nuts. And and that's the thing.
It's so fun, and it's still in early development. They just came out with a new update too.
Oh, so it's one of those games where it's never going to be out of early development, but you can still play and it just sucks all your funds up like fucking Starfield.
Actually, every DLC they're coming out with is free.
Aaron's still playing Starfield. Starfield.
No, that's Star Citizen.
Yo, Star Citizen, bro. Yo, just all you got to do is drop $322.19 and you'll get your spaceship.
Dude,
it costs you $5 a month to keep it fueled.
Dude, I played it.
You know, Aaron's just out there with that VR Star Citizen, just fucking
like in
another world.
I
am the Star Citizen.
And the thing is, that game is so fucking heavy on your PC. If you don't have like the state-of-the-art PC,
your PC's just going
fucking no, it'll fucking melt. I actually had an issue where my computer's like warning, fucking overheating. You need to stop.
Listen,
and I'm like,
listen to this.
Oh.
Here you on? I'm about to be.
No, I'm podcasting with Kyle. Say hello to the people. But I'm going to be. Jake was on the podcast back in the day. We were drunk. We did a hilarious drunk podcast. Anyone want to laugh? Go listen to the one with my cousin Jake and I on it. We get out in the weeds. We talk video games. We talk our past, like our childhood growing up together. We talk about wrestling.
Damn.
We talk about getting in fights and shit as adults. Oh, here he is. Listen.
What up? Fuck you, people.
Yeah, I'll be on in a little bit. I'll just message that ass boy. But, yeah, so where were we?
We were talking about,
Aaron, Star Citizen.
Yeah, Aaron, Star Citizen, okay. And the thing is, my computer said, it is fucking overheating. Stop,
Computer's
please.
about to pop.
And I'm fucking...
Nice.
Anyways.
No, but fucking... Now, Aaron showed me, and I thought it was fucking cool. But you know what? I bought a gun in the game, and I had a...
Was it $600?
No. I bought the gun with in-game currency that, you start off with, and you know what my friend who also played it said to me? Dog, that's the stupidest thing ever. You don't even... You're just shipping. And I'm like, the fuck? Is this Amazon? Is this an Amazon simulator? Like, yeah.
So back to your game, though.
Oh, Risk of Rain 2?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, though, Evan, you start up as, like... get little shit. But, oh my god, it turns into the fucking... You are a walking nuke. I had a run where fucking... I had an item where it was a guitar, it was electric guitar, and it was the Mask of Ghosts. It's a rare one. It's a red rarity, so it's like a legendary. So when the things are fucking hitting the monsters and shit, they electrocute themselves and make more knives. So they're just spreading out infinitely. And there's so many changes. It's an ever-evolving game. New characters, and they actually just released it for console. And it's a really fun game. So fun. And there's co-op in it, but I'm the kind of person that's really into kind of the solo kind of thing. Because I feel like if you can't beat it, a game like that, I feel like is way more into solo player instead of co-op.
What number was that?
That was number 6.
Okay, now we're getting nitty gritty. Top 5. My number 5 is Silent Hill 4.
Oh my god!
Why did I write 4?
I'm sorry.
No way. You know what's funny though? Silent Hill 4 is actually the second best one.
But still,
Silent Hill: The Room. It's because I have so many numbers in here. I accidentally put it next to something else. Silent Hill 2.
Oh man.
Is my number 5 spot. So Silent Hill 2.
He just meant to do -2, not fucking 4.
Silent Hill 2 is just the most masterful masterpiece of horror gaming. It's so creepy. Not only is it creepy from the creatures are creepy, it has this crazy atmosphere. Dude, the noises are scary, the music's scary. The gameplay has you helpless. So you play as this dude who named James Sunderland, and you get a letter in the mail years after your wife passes away, right? from your wife who had passed away and says, she wants you to meet her at their favorite place and all this shit, blah, blah, blah. That place turns out to be Silent Hill. So basically when you're in Silent Hill, if I remember correctly, basically Silent Hill's haunted and it's this open world town and it's haunted and
you never leave.
It basically when you're there,
Silent
it
Hill
feeds
itself is like it's an entity.
Yeah, it feeds off your psyche. So when you show up, all the creatures and the baddies that you're seeing are manifestations of your character's psyche and things that he feels and he's traumatized by.
Yeah.
Dude, the game is so fucking amazing, and you get to the end of the game and you come to find out as you get tortured and chased and fight against all these fucking creatures that you actually killed your fucking wife.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, dude, and she was dying. She was like had cancer, and your guy was so selfish and so sick of taking care of her that he just fucking snuffed her out and shit.
Fuck, dude.
Dude, and this is fucking creepy.
Didn't he die in Silent Hill too?
There's like 4 or 5 different endings. I can't remember if he dies or not, but one of the creepiest things in the game is Pyramid creepy. He represents like the
brutality,
brutalness, punishment. Like he's there to punish James for the terrible shit he's did. That's what he represents, right? But every creature in the game has a significance, right? One of the creepiest ones though is the fucking doorman. Do you remember the doorman?
No.
Well, did you ever play it?
I played a little bit, but I don't really think
Dude,
I finished.
it came out when I was 12, right? Which means you were like how old?
12?
You were
30. I'm 22.
I'm 29. I'm 29 right now.
I'm like 8.
Yeah, you were no. Yeah,
6.
I'm 8 years older than you. 7 years older than you.
Yeah, so
I know I'm 6 years older than you.
yeah. So wouldn't that be like?
Well, if it came out when I was 12.
Yeah, I was 6 years old.
Yeah, you're 6 years old.
Yeah. Math people, I'm good at it.
So there's this creature that I used to call the doorman because of what it looked like. When I was young, I was like 13 playing it. There's this part, and I might be saying this wrong. I might have it mixed up, but you meet this woman there. You meet a couple different characters there. You meet this woman there, and I'm pretty sure you could see the manifestations of other people's psyches too there. Like they just come out.
Well, not even that. It's just all the people that were sent
It's their traumas fueling into the creatures.
Well, not even that.
They're all there looking for something.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing though. Like Silent Hill in itself is feeding, like you said, off your psyche. It's feeding off your fear. The thing is, there are other people there, and the thing is, Silent Hill controls the settings of it. So you might not there might be someone right next to you, but you'll never know it unless Silent Hill wants you to know it.
Right. Well, there's this one part where you see these doormen after this one cutscene. And you come out into the hallway, and there's this thing that just looks like a big fucking door in the hallway with like these stubby little legs and stubby arms, and it's just going, ka-dunk, 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 just walking down the hallway at you. And all it can really do is flick itself at you, and then it can try to slam itself on you, right? So when I first seen it, I'm like, oh, it looks like a fucking door, but like the middle of it, the body of it was like squiggly and all this shit. Well, when you play the remastered version, and you could see it better, it's not a door. And I looked it up later and found out that whoever wrote these games are fucked. It's supposed to be a bed. In the squiggly around is 2 people under the sheets. It's supposed to be like someone being like sexually assaulted under the sheets.
Oh,
that's what it is.
Wow.
And then like you got like the nurses, dude. The fucking nurses. They're scary shit. They got these nice bodies, right? But they're walking around with no eyes trying to kill you. It's supposed to be a representation of like the fact that James is like, his wife's been dying for a few years now and he can't have sex with her, can't have sex with anyone else. He doesn't want to cheat. And it's like a representation of him being sexually frustrated and all this shit. Dude, it's fucking wild. Dude, there's a scene in that when you ever remember the scene when you first meet Pyramid Head?
No.
You're hiding in a closet. And he's in the room. He comes into the room and he starts. There's these creatures called mannequins where you take the legs from a mannequin and you glue it to the other set of legs. And it's like 4 sets of legs. And they walk and they come up and try to hit you. When you first see Pyramid Head, you come into the room and he's friggin' raping. He's raping the mannequins, the mannequin creatures. Like he's
talking like literally? Or?
Like forcing them, like he's got them like on a counter and he's having like sex with them. Like he's molesting them, like sexually assaulting the other creatures in the game. He's just brutal. He kills everything. He fucks shit. He just runs around. He's just fucking everything that moves. He don't fuck around.
That's
the game is ridiculous.
No, not even that. It's just it's so fucked.
And then there's the Chimera, those ones that like hang. And it's supposed to represent. It's supposed to represent supposedly James like he's gonna hang in fucking purgatory or some shit forever. I don't know. It's just fucking wild. But the game's fucking amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing.
You know what we need to do? We need to one day get together and
just play through that shit.
Not even that. Let's just fucking watch a walkthrough.
Watch a walkthrough. We should do that. We should watch a walkthrough and podcast.
Fuck yeah,
during the walkthrough.
Fuck yeah.
That's what we'll do. We'll do that sometime.
Yeah, dude.
Remind me of that. So what really rounds this game out is the fact that it has those old Resident Evil style mechanics where when you aim, your person goes into a power stance and you gotta go like this, and you can just turn your guy and aim up and down and stuff like that. What sucks is the enemies will come at you in like these weird sporadic ways, dude. And if you don't get your shots off, and if you're not true on your shots, they get up on you in 2 seconds. They will fuck you up. Another thing is, it's so dark in the game. You get that little flashlight, and it makes it so you can. It eclipses to your chest. It makes it so you can only see where the flashlight shines. So you can turn, and there's just a creature there, or a creature will come out of the darkness and just get you from the side. Like,
oh, dude, that just makes.
Dude, it's so dark. It's so amazing. Anyways, what's your number 5, Kyle?
Ratchet and Clank 3. Up your arsenal.
I was wondering if you were going to do a Ratchet and Clank or Jack and Dexter. Keep going. So Ratchet and Clank.
The reason I
those are fun games.
The thing I picked Ratchet and Clank 3 is because I think out of there's another game, but I don't call it Ratchet and Clank. That's number 1. But Ratchet and Clank, the story was fucking great. Like the areas, the secrets. I remember as a kid always just fucking going through the story just to level shit up, just to see what the abilities were. Because I remember oh my god. I remember, in the third one, you could get suit upgrades. You could also, test
you get all kinds of upgrades and that shit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, to this day, I remember a cheat code from the game. And so it was from a cutscene. Al is like this. This is exactly how it goes. Al grabs the controller from Ratchet and says, hey, if you want it, let's see him doing a tutu. Up, down, left, right, circle, square, square, and he's in a tutu. And it was because he was playing the Captain Quark game. Because the Captain Quark games were that's how Nefarious, Professor Nefarious would get through his plans, and it was so cartoony, but it just felt so fucking fun. I remember playing that game so much, and I remember going through the last fucking area. You're in a fucking giant robot, just beating the shit out of fucking Dr. Nefarious. Oh my god, and the replayability was just off the chain. I love that game. If I could fucking play it again, I would.
Ratchet and Clank. I played those, man. They were pretty good. So here's the one I was going to talk about earlier. So remember I told you not Resident Evil. God, there's so many numbers. Remember I told you Metal Gear Solid 4 got me to buy my PS3. Mm-hmm. And this comes full circle with our Xbox conversation. A console needs to be able to pump out a handful of really good. I also got Skyrim on my PlayStation, and I played it on my PS3 a lot. Oh my God, right?
You told me about this.
But I'm just saying. So I played that. I got Skyrim on there. Skyrim was on both consoles, but a console needs to come out with some new shit. And that's the problem with the Xbox. Dude, The Last of Us. Number 4 for me is The Last of Us. It made buying my PS3 so worth it because I didn't expect this game to happen. And it's not like you had any inkling to it happen, and it's a fresh idea. Yeah. So the reason why this is number 4 on my list, The Last of Us. A lot of people out there have played it. It's popular. I mean, unless you're fucking one of those casuals that just likes to play online games.
All I play is Call of Duty.
From a story standpoint, as far as making someone trying to evoke specific emotions, I've never played a video game that does that better than The Last of Us. There's not a game that will make you emotional or make you feel some sort of way more than The Last of Us.
Games nowadays feel like you're playing as a character and you don't feel connected.
Dude, yo, listen. So you play, for the people who don't know, you play this game called The Last of Us. You play as this guy named Joel, right? And he's just your everyday working man, owns his own construction, small-time construction outfit and all this stuff, and
he's a father.
And in the very beginning, you're playing as his daughter in his home, right? She's home all alone. You play as his daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And you're walking around the house as a pandemic is starting. And like the TVs are on. Dude, it's so intense. The TVs are going in the house and they're showing like what's going on in the city. You hear noises. You see an explosion in the city from your window. And you're freaking out as his daughter. You're like, what the fuck, right? As Sarah, you're like, oh my God. And you're downstairs. Dude, it's so intense. When you play as Sarah, you got to come out of your bedroom not knowing where your dad's not home. You don't know of what's going on in town, what's happening. Could it be coming your way? Is there people in my home? Who knows? And you're like, creep around. You go all the way down home. You realize no one's there. And you find your phone. You find your father's cell phone. He leaves his cell phone at home. His brother, your Uncle Tommy's going, hey, yo, you know what the fuck is going on and all this shit? Then you walk into the back office room with a slide glass door, and it's so intense. Dude, your father, Joel, comes running in, and he's locking the glass door. He's like, baby, back up, and all this stuff. He's like, something's not right with Mr. Whoever next door, right? And he's going, and he pulls his gun out, and she's like, Dad, why do you got a gun and all this shit? And the neighbor comes running up to the window and busts through, and you cap him. So then what happens is you make your way into town, and you get stuck. And this is just the beginning of the game. I know I'm taking a little time to say it, but to give people context to how the magnitude of this game. You get into the town, you're stuck. Long story short, you got to try to escape the town now with your brother and all this stuff. And there comes a point where you and your brother get separated, right? And the infected are chasing you, and your daughter, you guys flip the car, and your daughter, she breaks her arm or leg, and she can't run. I think she breaks her leg. She can't run. So now you're running with your daughter to get away from the infected. You're running up this hill, and you can see the shadows coming. You can hear them. They're all behind you. You manage to get to the top, and it's so intense. You barely make it up there, right? And all of a sudden, a military dude mows all the infected down, and you think you're safe. And then the military dude gets a call on the walkie. He's like, yeah, he goes, I got two people here. They say they're not infected. They say they're good and all this stuff. And the dude gives him orders to kill him and his daughter. So the dude shoots at them with his machine gun, and Joel tries to shield her. You fall down, and she gets hit. And Sarah passes away in his arms. His brother comes up out of nowhere because he catches back up, kills a soldier, and they try to keep Sarah alive, and she passes away, right? Then it fast forwards to like 20 years later, and he's like in his late 40s. Right, early 50s, right?
Still remembering that, yeah.
Dude, and that's where the bulk of the game takes place. And eventually you find this little girl, Ellie, who's immune to the virus. And because of some things you've done, you get roped into having to take her on a wild goose chase.
Rack up some debt or something?
It's a longer story than that, but you basically, some acquaintances of yours that they're like quasi allies of yours. Mm-hmm. They have a bunch of shit that you want, and they're like, yo, you need to take her from point A to point B, and then we'll give you the guns, and we'll give you the tools, and all this other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So you do, and along the way, you build this bond with Ellie, and she becomes like the daughter you never had.
Do you remember the brothers? You remember the brothers?
In what?
In Last of Us, you remember the brothers?
I'm sure I do.
You're traveling, and you meet these two brothers.
Oh, yeah, the two little brothers, yeah. So basically, there's a lot of shit that happens in this. A lot of people pass away. There's a lot of horrifying events. And basically, in the end of the game, Ellie's immune, and that's why you were taking her from point A to point B. She decides that she's going to sacrifice herself to save mankind, and they're going to give her a lobotomy.
Oh, yeah.
But Joel's like, fuck that. And he busts in there. You kill all the doctors in the room. You get to kill the doctors and the nurses. It's fucking brutal.
Oh, yeah, and he lies to her saying, oh, yeah, they said they couldn't do anything.
She goes, promise me that whatever you said was how this went. He looks her straight in the eyes. He goes, I promise. And also, he's lying though. But anyways, so the reason why it comes full circle is, remember how I said in the game you have to control him in the beginning when you're running away with Sarah and she dies. Mm-hmm. Well, when you pick up Ellie out of the hospital, it replays that scene. You're running through the hospital wings trying to survive from the soldiers while you're carrying Ellie this time. It's just like when you're running with your daughter in the beginning, dude, to safety. Dude, it makes you feel legitimately feel every type of emotionality that you could feel. It makes you sad, it makes you angry, it makes you happy, it makes you laugh. And I'm not joking. I've probably beat it 5 to 10 times, and it literally makes me feel the same way I played that game. The same exact way I played it the first time. It makes me feel all the same things. It's a masterpiece of writing, and dude, the gameplay, top notch. It's so brutal, dude. Run around, beat the fuck out, beat people to death with bricks and shit. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why PlayStation's the shit. But yeah, dude, The Last of Us.
Oh my god.
Last of Us is just phenomenal. Last of Us 2 coming out next year.
Dude.
And yeah, Last of Us 2 is
this is a big
my fourth.
Yeah. Your fourth? My fourth is Jak 3. Now, the fourth
Jak and Daxter?
No. Jak 3.
What's that?
It is Jak and Daxter, but what happened was this. Jak and Daxter.
I knew you'd have a Jak and Daxter.
Well, first off, thing is, Jak and Daxter was originally rated E. They turned the series into they turned it around.
Made it dark or something?
Yeah, they made it dark.
What?
Yeah.
I like dark shit, dude.
Dude, so originally in the first one, you play in this fucking fruity not even fruity. You're like in a jungle. There's eco, there's all this other shit, and you get powers. But the thing is, you go through time into the future. And there's this whole fucking story. Jack's originally from the future. He was sent back in time with the rebellion leader who originally is the green eco leader. And there's this whole fucking rebellion. And, dude, it is a fucking amazing story. So,
dark Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
And the thing is, in the second one, so the first one, Jak never talked, right?
Right.
When they first traveled, he's like, what the hell? He literally is like, what the hell just happened? And he started talking. And everyone's like, what the hell? You can talk? And the thing is, Daxter finds out later that he's a god, that he's one of the blessed. So in the original one, when he touched the dark eco stuff, he turned into this little wombat kind of thing.
Right.
Those wombats were eco gods. They made the eco. They're the inventors of it. He was, instead of him being cursed, he was actually blessed. And it's a fucking amazing story. It's how you find Jack's father who just died, in your arms because, he showed you the necklace. It's an open world. You can literally steal flying ships. There's just weapons that you can add attachments onto. The blue one, it was, if you got the final attachment, it's a seeking weapon. You just and it would spray everything. The best one is the remote controlled ones, where it would walk and you'd have this little fucking tank thing that would shoot through the city because the rebellion needed to open up a way for them to get transport their weapons and such for their soldiers or for Jak to get in. This thing's a loaded fucking nuke. That's what this thing is. And it was so fun. I remember sitting there trying to do all the gun stuff. And there was shotguns, there was snipers. The story was fucking amazing. I'll be honest with you, dude, if this fucking came out on PC, shit, I'll fucking buy a PS3. Fuck, I'll buy a PS4 just to fucking play this shit again.
You'll buy a PS5.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy a PS5, yeah. But dude, it was just such an amazing story. And the one that made the best, what made the third one the best out of the first one, the second one is that the third one, you can use white eco, and you could get fucking customizable cars.
What?
You could get cars, yeah. And you could fucking traverse the desert that it was in, because Jak gets exiled from the city. So when they take it back, Jak is basically, Jack kind of screwed himself over because he did a bunch of crimes, by helping out the rebellion. So when the rebellion took over, a new leader came and basically controlled them. And Jack was exiled. He gets found in this area where it's on the desert. And there's missions. Like one of the missions that there's giant fucking sandworms that are about to destroy the place. You get in a fucking turret like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's so, and dude, like, so those little precursor orbs or whatever, like you were finding in the first game, they're fucking rare now. They don't even exist. They're very rare, and they are worth a shit ton. And dude, it is like the best fucking game, and it's so weird because it starts off as like this nice kids game, but then it turns dark, and that in itself made the game. In the third one, the final battle is literally you fighting this ginormous because the real villain was this guy who was a racer, and this guy was in. So when you infuse yourself with dark eco, you become really powerful, but the dark eco takes over your mind. That's the thing. When Daxter turned into dark eco, they can't control it. They can make it, but they can't control it. So when he became one with the dark eco, he can control it, and the dark ego's like destroy everything. He's like, yes, I will, and he gets on this giant motherfucking walking thing. You have to use the cars blow out the freaking legs. It's just insane. I love it. If I could play it again, I would fucking play it. It is one of the best, and I'm talking the best storytelling. After that, there's one with airplanes. Don't fucking play that one. Oh my god, I love it, man. And you could fucking. It was so good, man.
Dude, one thing I wanted to say before I go on to my next one, going back to The Last of Us. Did you ever see the scene with the giraffe? The giraffes in The Last of Us?
I don't remember 100%.
There's a scene where you're going through a city and the zoo got destroyed and all the animals got free. Oh, he's remembering,
yeah.
Well, you're not remembering. It's like when you have Ellie. Oh. And you're going through this abandoned building and the wall's broken down, and all of a sudden you see the shadow. And when you first see it, you're like, that's a fucking giraffe, right? And Ellie goes, holy shit. And she runs around the corner. Dude, the storytelling in that game's so good. She runs around the corner and down a hallway, and Joel's like, Ellie's like, Ellie, don't come on now, and all stuff, right? And he's like, you got to chase her down the hall. Because, you don't know what could be around the fucking corner. She's taking off without you. And you're like, you chase her down, and then she comes out into this area where the walls broke, and she's just fucking petting a giraffe. The giraffes got out of the zoo, and they were coming to this park to feed on the foliage and stuff. And you can go up to the giraffe with her and pet the giraffe, and it's yet an amazing storytelling. Because what's probably the saddest part about that game, Joel lost his daughter,
yeah,
and all that stuff, and there's the people you lose along the way. But probably one of the saddest things about that game is she does not know what it's like to have a normal childhood. All she knows is trying to survive in the wasteland and colonies and stuff. So there's moments in the game where she experiences shit where you're just probably thinking as Joel knows what it's like to live a normal life when he was younger, a civilized life. And when you almost don't want to walk away from petting those giraffes in the game. I get chills just thinking about it. When you have to walk away from those giraffes and let them go live and stuff, and then you got to go back to not enjoying that, and you got to go back to fucking survival mode.
It really
that game's so damn good. Sorry to go back to it, but
you're fine, dude. No, it's just
it's got me thinking about it now.
That's the thing too. That's what makes stories that makes good stories to great stories. Is just little details like that, And just like with Jak 3, as cartoony as it fucking looks, it's so fucking fun. I will play it so much. And the storytelling's great. The game's great. There's puzzles. There's temples you have to go into. Dungeons a little bit. But they were so fun. I know you're shaking your head
No, I was shaking my head at the TV.
Oh. But still, I'll be honest with you, dude. Like I said, if I could play it again, I'll play it again. That game to me was
telling you, man, some games for people.
That game was probably it's my number 4. Number 1's gonna be quite surprising, but it's really fucking good. So, which one are we on? 3?
4. I just did The Last of Us. You did 4, didn't you?
Yeah, I just did 4. So now we're on 3.
So now we're on 3. So now we're on the final 3. And number 3, fittingly enough, is Fallout 3.
That's good. I actually like that.
Fallout 3 is fucking fantastic. In my opinion, it's the best Fallout. Listen, I've been playing Fallout. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of these people play Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 in Vegas, and they're like, oh, Fallout used to be a totally different game when I was younger. Back on PC, it was a turn-based strategy game.
Yeah, no, seriously, yeah.
The original Fallouts were dope.
Yeah.
It had all the same elements, but it was more top-down. Like, you had to spend action points to move your guy and attack and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was mild, like, you could add equipment to your guy and all the stuff, dude. But no, Fallout 3, world full of content. The open world, A+, Washington, D.C. area, all this historic lore in it. The story, I thought, was amazing. The ending, they didn't do a great... The only thing I don't like about the game is the endings were kind of like, man, there's multiple different endings, and it was just Liam Neeson being like, oh, this is what happened in the Sun Zone. And it was just like...
Liam Neeson, damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's someone famous that does the father's voice. I want to say it's Liam Neeson. But gameplay, top-notch, fucking everything just freaking customizable and all these crazy weapons. Just, dude, so many good NPCs and characters. Dude, the fat man. I called it the fat girl back in the day. Dude, I called it the fat girl. It was so funny. My boy Nick would be like, yo, you got that fat girl right there?
Context on this.
Shout out to Nick.
Context on this one is, so the fat man it's basically a nuke launcher. In basic terms,
it's a missile launcher that it's a nuke launcher. It shoots a mini nuke.
And it's so...
And you could just decimate shit with it.
I know. Boom! On Fallout 4, and just to go on that one, I'll tell you this. One of my fucking favorite memories was you meet the fucking main bad guy that took or whatever, and I found the fucking fat man before. So you would, if you...
The fat girl,
yeah. If you find if you find it before it, and, you could either, 1, just go with him, or 2, fight him. I chose to fight him. I just freaking love that film, and then...
Dude, that was my solution to a lot of shit. You always had to, save your mini nuke in case you got into, a hardcore situation. Listen, I was a straight-up minimalist on that game. Dude, listen, I would hoard all my shit and put it in my hideouts. I shit you not. I upgraded... Remember the hunting rifle? It was just that crappy old rifle.
My God.
But if you used it enough and kept upgrading it, dude, it was so powerful. If you shot a dude in the head... Most human beings or low-level creatures blow their head off one shot. I loved everything about Fallout 3. The VAT system. You could play first person or third person, but you could use the VAT system and zoom in and tink tink, pick your shots, boom boom boom, start shooting, dude. The characters were amazing. Remember that rich dude that just had that little mini mansion that was right on the outskirts of DC. His name was he had a Russian name. And you go in there, his name was Dmitriyov or something like that.
Yeah, I remember
And you go in there, and he's got this dope-ass little mansion, and it's just literally sitting on the outskirts of D.C. And he's just got these gorgeous hookers with him that become his little housemaids. And he could send you out on missions and shit. Yeah, dude, he's just out in the wasteland living the life. I eventually stole from him and killed him, and the girls got mad. I killed them too. It was great. But you could dude, it was so amazing. Well, the decisions you could do in the game, you could kill everyone.
Well, here's the
the towns were amazing. Just remember the city that's on the boat.
Yeah.
That's just the boat that washed up ashore.
The coolest thing ever.
Dude, that city was dope. Dude, it was just all the subway tunnels and all the open land and all the
thing with
it's just Fallout's one of those games. It's so hard to explain everything, encompass everything. Fallout 3 was fucking amazing.
To put it in my words, it's the game that gives you freedom. It lets you do whatever you really want to do. If you just want to go hunt things, you can do that. If you just want to collect weapons, it'll let you do that.
In the perk system,
oh my god,
you get the karma system.
Dude, remember the little got
all the perks, the hundreds of perks.
Dude, that was.
And you can upgrade each perk. Dude, the content is just so good.
It was just there's so much.
You want to know how I played? This is how I played Fallout. I was a super minimalist, right? So I was trying to say. Mm-hmm. I would use I would just find these cool weapons that I liked that were just base model weapons, and I would just upgrade them, and I wouldn't put a lot of attachments on them. And I would just collect as much money as I could. I wouldn't spend a lot of money. I would go out and find shit in the environment to upgrade my weapons. I would save all my money. I would save all my weapons and stuff, and I would sell a lot of shit back. But I would literally roll. There's a 1911 looking handgun you can get in the game. You can get that. You can get that one hunting rifle like I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself some good armor, and that's how I would roll bare bones, just those guns and melee weapons. And I would upgrade all my melee and fighting power so that I could just hit dudes with bats once and kill them, dude. I would smash this. Remember the perk you can get, home run hitter?
Oh my god!
Where you get like if you get a critical on someone, they go flying into the sky like a home run. Yeah, dude. Yo, I could go on for days about Fallout 3, but that's number 3 for me. What's your number 3?
Number 3 for me is Dark Souls 2. Now,
you're into the Dark Souls, aren't
you? Listen, okay?
They're good games, but I just think they're a little overrated.
Number 2, a lot of people actually is the worst one. And here's what I gotta say about it, okay?
I like 2 and 3.
1 was so fucking hard, I never was able to beat it. And I still got people saying, oh, you just gotta go fucking continue. It's like, no, fuck you. So, the thing is number 2 was my first ever taste of just beating a fucking giant boss that I had no fucking idea I could even beat. Like, just that taste. That adrenaline rush of just that ginormous fucking giant that's about to stomp on you. You get out of the way and slice it. Dude, I remember in the game, like, the storytelling is amazing. The DLCs were amazing. Some of the boss fights were just so fun. I remember specifically, actually, in this Poison Valley, you had to actually set so you had to set the windmill on fire. Reason being is because you go to the boss without doing that, it's full of poison.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
I didn't realize that for, like, the longest time. So, I would lose all my souls, get them back, do it again, and I'm like, man. So, and what made it better was, this is the game that, if you had summons, it was so fucking fun. Like, you would have, like, I summoned guys or whatever during fights.
Summon that ass, boy.
No, dude, like, I'm talking, like, this one guy. I remember I was fighting the Fume Knight. You know that guy with, like, the freaking giant ultra sword? And the little sword, dude? This dude went in just with a fucking ladle and beat the shit out of him.
The ladle!
Dude, there are fucking runs where they only use the ladle to
speed runs and shit. Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Well, here's the thing, though, too, like...
I'm just not into the whole. I think most of the dodgy games where it's just like dodge a dude 100 times and takes forever to kill a guy. I think it's overrated.
Listen. This is the best part.
The lore in those games are good though.
Listen to the best part.
The baddies are good. Like number 3 had some of the coolest bad guys.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Like that one. Remember the one dude you fight up in the fucking clouds who rides the dragon? He stands on the dragon's head.
Yeah, the fucking
the fallen king or some shit. What is he called?
The Sky King.
Sky King something king. Yo, that fucking dude was brutal.
Dude, and the thing, like, yeah, it kind of is. I agree with you a little bit, but the thing is this, too. On the second one, if you beat everything, you know what I would used to do? I would hold fight rings. I would hold fighting. Isn't
that what people started doing?
Yeah, so there's a location where the Iron King's throne is, and there's a bridge. What you do is you fucking go human. You use your humanity. You just start spawn. People will start writing down red signs. You just start spawn. You set up the stage, and people will just fight each other. And it's Fight Club. And the funniest thing, too, is this. I had so many humanities. I remember doing it for so long. I had 99 humanities. I was like a pimp with all the fucking souls. I was able to become a fucking spellcaster as well as a fucking, like, dexterity guy. Oh, dude, it was so funny because guys would challenge me and I would fight them and literally just like, oh, hey, you like that? Freaking crystal spear, just like kill them in one hit. It was so fucking fun. And just the creativity from the community was just insane. Like people, like the story, the lore. In my opinion, Dark Souls 3 is great, but Dark Souls 2 is what laid the foundation out. Because Dark Souls 1 was very fucking hard. It was a little too hard for
Isn't that the point, though?
Well, not even that, too. Yeah, it is the point, but the thing is, it was, if you didn't know, like, because here's the thing, though. When it first came out, a lot of people didn't like it. When I first played it, I didn't fucking like it. But when I got into, like, the second one, and I beat it, dude, I was like, man, that was fucking awesome. Like, I actually said that after I beat the Fume Knight, I said, man, that was fucking awesome.
I think it's the Nameless King.
Yeah, it's the Nameless King, yeah. Dude, when I beat him, fuck, dude, that adrenaline rush of just beating this fucking harsh boss made it so worth it. I remember fighting. I'll be honest with you, dude. I was still warm from my Dark Souls 2 playthrough. And when I first got to 3, I think I got to every boss until I got to the I beat every boss on the first try until I got to the fucking the first set of guys, the Abyss Watchers, cuz these fuckers are so fast. And you needed to know. When you fought Ludwig's Gundyr the second time, dude, I've never had so much issues. I had to learn to parry. That guy was so fucking tough. But it was just amazing. And it's just Dark Souls 2, like I said, it laid the foundation of what Dark Souls 3 would be. You know, and that's what made it fucking awesome for me. There's actually a weapon you could get in Dark Souls 2 if you had one of the DLCs. It was a sword, but you can turn into a fucking whip.
You know for a fact that there's probably people who are going to listen to this if they're into video games be butthurt that none of us have God of War as our favorite games.
I mean,
bro, you don't understand, bro. I got 400 sons, bro. We chop shit down, bro.
I'll say this about God of War. The reason I picked this list is these are the games that I've played. I'll say this.
God of War was
games
alright.
That we've played. You know, you played God of War. I've never really played God of War.
It was alright.
You know, I've watched them, but I never really played them. You know, with my list, I say these are the ones I play. Dark Souls 2, I played that. Jak 3, Rocket League, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, War of the Monsters, Destiny 2, Grim Dawn. I played all these. These are games I play. You know? Alright, and... yeah.
My number 2?
Number 2, boy. Man, let's see what you got.
So, disclaimer before I drop number 2. So... number 2 used to be my number 1 favorite video game of all time for years. This game came out when I was 13. It got dethroned recently by number 1. And we'll get to number 1, but it took years. Number 1, the game that's going to be number 1 came out 4 years ago. So that means I was 25 or 26 when it came out. Did it come out 3 years ago or 4 years? 3 years ago. Anyways, don't say it because you know the game. That means I went 12, 13 years with this number 2 game being my favorite video game of all time. And I was adamant that no game was ever going to topple this game as number 1. I was like, this is my favorite video game to the day I die. Dude, I played this game. You can ask my buddy Nick Baker if you ever meet him, and I plan on hanging out with him again soon at some point because he's been asking about hanging out. Maybe I'll have him on here. I don't know how good he'd do on the podcast, but we'd probably talk about games and shit. But
well, that's my thing though.
Yeah, we used to play a lot of video games together. I've beaten this game so many times. I've played it so fucking much. It's Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. This is my number 2 favorite video game of all time. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, I don't even know. There's just so much I could say about this game. It's like the original Metal Gear. It's basically the prequel to everything that happens. It sets the stage, as you would say, for everything it was to follow. And you play as Solid Snake, the real original Solid Snake. Then you go on this mission into Russia to try to retrieve this Russian scientist back who was kidnapped and all shit from these baddies. And basically, the woman that taught you, your maestre, your master, your teacher, she's a soldier too, and she defects to the Russian radical side. She joins them, right? And they have the most badass bad guys. So the GRU team is led by this dude, Colonel Volkov. This dude's 6'5", 250, jacked, and he's got this suit that makes it so he can control electricity. He's the fucking Russian OG Raiden, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like Raiden from fucking Mortal Kombat. Anyways, he's a bad guy in the game. You see him throughout the game, eventually fight him. But there's these other bad guys, right, that are supposed to represent specific states of mind and kind of philosophies that have to do with war and sorrow and shit, right? Mm-hmm. So one boss is the End. Is this old dude who was a sniper during World War II, And he's this old ass dude, and you can do a fucking sniper battle with him. And there's a tons of cool ways you can kill him. There's a way you can go to sleep. Apparently, I never killed him like this, but apparently if you go to sleep, he dies of old age or some shit because he falls asleep too, and then you kill him. But I would just straight up kill him. And you basically play this game of cat and mouse out in this area where there's like these reservoirs, like these valleys with like canyons and shit, and you're fucking trying to snipe each other. There's another dude named the Fury, and he's this dude who's like a fucking astronaut with a jetpack, and he's like got a flamethrower, and he's like flying around shooting at you. You fight him in these catacombs. You fight this other dude who's like the Rage or some shit. Or the Anger or something. He's got all these bees and guns and shit. He sends bees after you. Dude, the game's absolutely fucking wild. And eventually, you get to the end, and the very end of the game, you do all these different missions, and you have to face the boss. She defected. Your protege, wow. And you meet this girl that's a spy, and you develop a romance with her, right?
Oh, okay.
In the game, it's great, and she helps you out throughout the game. But in the end, you got to face the boss, who you used to. Not only was she you were her protege, Master. You guys were intimate at one time too together, and you had to fucking kill her at the end. And get this, she defected on purpose. She double crossed the Russians. This woman loves her country so much, according to the story, right? She's the most, going into her defection, she's the most decorated American combat service veteran up to that point that the world has ever seen, for the United States anyways. The United States ever seen. So what she does is, dude, she loves America so much that she defects on purpose to double cross the Russians, throwing her name under the bus. Everyone will forever know that she's a defector and a traitor, and she does it to gain inside intel to help you tear it down. And you don't know this the whole time. And in the end, to make it come full circle so the other countries don't know, you have to fight her, and she basically lets you kill her to round out the plan.
That's
so she destroys her reputation, her world reputation, and gives her life to save her country.
That's a real hero right
there. And it's a great fucking game. And when you get into the gameplay, it's Metal Gear, but it's semi-open world. And dude, you can get injured, and you have to like heal your injuries. You can break shit. Head? Yeah, dude, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can you have to survive, so you can hunt animals. You can cook them and eat them to survive, and it's got all this same stuff. And like, the music's great, atmosphere's great, the storyline's great, the voice acting's phenomenal. Like, it's the best Metal Gear game.
Damn, dude,
it's amazing. What's your number 2?
Number 2 for me has been, I want to say, a classic. I still think this game to this day. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a little background now. The kind of movies I like to watch are, one of my favorite is bank robberies. I'm a huge, I don't condone criminal activity, but
I think I know what game you're talking about.
But this game was probably like my favorite, and it was the coolest. It was so fun. Sly Cooper 3. The thing is,
I was thinking about Sly Cooper when we were talking about Spyro.
Dude, Sly Cooper was
Sly Cooper's legit, dude.
See, what made the game
that's our childhood, dude. Sly Cooper.
What made the fucking game so great to me was that, yes, you were a thief, but you had a reason. You weren't just some mastermind criminal just doing it because you can. And it's the brotherhood. The three original guys, fucking the pink guy, the hippo, the freaking turtle. I think the turtle's name is Bentley.
Bentley, yep.
Yeah, Bentley, and I think the hippo's name is whatever. And the thing is, I skipped over the second game. I didn't realize there's a second one. I don't know why I didn't play it, but
there's a couple of them.
Here's the thing. I watched the walkthrough and everything, and I watched the second game, and the ending was so gut-wrenching. Because the first one, you find out, your family history. The next one is you're testing your brotherhood. You're testing, your bond. The reason Bentley was even in a wheelchair was because at the end when they're trying to revive Clockwork, the bad guys are, the hippo wasn't strong enough to save Bentley's legs. That's why Bentley's in a wheelchair. And the hippo has, I don't remember his name. I really need to know his name. And he blames himself. That's why he actually goes to that's why he becomes a pacifist. He learns from this guy who, can control, you gain all these abilities. Now, the reason that Sly is bringing all these guys together is for the biggest hit ever. Some guy, I don't remember his name, but the villain actually obtained the actual deed for the Sly Cooper vault. And this thing inside was the nuttiest fucking thing ever. The history, the times, it was so insane. Like, it talked about the Sly Cooper, like the past. I remember, when they met all the characters. My favorite character they met was the panda. Because he was in the first game. The reason is, I don't remember his name, but he was the firefighter. No, not the firefighter. He made the fireworks. And he failed so bad that people hated him for it. And, all these villains had a reason. They have, this sad upbringing or whatever. And they're villains. The panda guy, the reason you help, he will not, you need a pyrotechnic person. Bentley isn't good enough. That's why they find the panda guy. The panda guy, he helps them on one condition. They need to save his daughter from the emperor who is forcing her to marry his son. Because he doesn't want his daughter being married to no guy. So he goes and, so the deal is this. He will help the Coopers if they save his daughter. And he was a villain. He was a bad guy. He hated them. To see that character hate them, to become friends with them, that was insane. There was Carmelita. Dude, Inspector Carmelita, I remember her. At the end of the game, Sly gets knocked out. The last boss he smacks him so hard that he forgets his memory. And Carmelita brings him in, and Sly actually liked her. He was a thief. But that was the one kind of thing that I think he was, fucking furries and shit. But it was such a great story in my eyes because it's a band of brothers, of thieves, people who had nothing. They had to steal what they had. And they made a business. They got big, they've fallen. They've been through some shit together. And that's what made it so special to me, was that they basically put their lives on the line for each other. And that's the kind of thing that I, to this day, follow to a T. A band of brothers. People who you can count on. Shout out to all the boys out there, You know who you are. And it was just insane, dude. I loved it. To be honest with you, dude, I might just go home and find an emulator.
Dude!
I might go home and find an emulator and play it again.
There you go.
That game was awesome. And the thing is, you start off in the actual start menu, actually playing it. Actually, what's funny, here's a memory. Me and my dad, we actually fixed a flat screen TV. I hooked up a PS2 to it, and I put that game in to test it. So, we actually figured out that it was the board that was busted. We got a new board in. Brand, we fixed the TV, dude. And I remember that specifically because I remember that game that I would use it to test it. And oh my god, dude, the plane levels, the races, I remember the hippo he's the van was tricked out to be a race truck, a drag race freaking van, and oh my god, dude, that is, and that's number 2. Number 1 is nuts.
Well,
but
you want to do your number 1 first? Oh man, you do your number 1 first. What's your number 1 favorite? What's your favorite video game of all time? Go for it.
This is the game that when I hear video games, this is what comes to my mind. Now, it took a long time for me to think about this because when I picked number 1, now I played fucking Destiny 2. I played Risk of Rain. I played all these other fucking games. The one game that's always stood out to me is this one, Ratchet Deadlocked. Now, a lot of people shit on this one because it's not Ratchet and Clank, and it's actually between 3 and 4. But to be honest with you, so to start to announce the story is this. Ratchet and Clank get stranded somewhere, and these guys, they bag them, and they force them to play in a game show where it's like death and all that shit. And you know what's funny is when you do something nuts, the commentators will comment on it. The game, like, you get guns, and they go up to level 100. I remember, like, sitting in one level for, like, hours on end just farming XP. And then I would be pissed off because one of the guys would glitch out, and then it would be broken, and I loved it. When I got the Rhino, dude, it would send up missiles that would come fucking down, and it was like a laser beam. What made the story itself was good. I loved it. It was Ratchet starting from the bottom, as people would shit on him all the fucking time, saying Ratchet's a monster. He doesn't like puppies. He pollutes the ocean, and he works his way up from that area in the Coliseum to get out, because the thing is, this is where Al actually got injured, and he got in because in one of the fight. Because when they went back, the bad guy was like, because they're trying to get out with the collars, and the bad guy's like, you know what? Bam! He shot Al, and Al like had to get prosthetics and shit, and he was like half man, half cyborg. That's why like Al is created like that, and oh my gosh, what made it great was that it was just the replayability. You could go back to every challenge, you could go back to every boss fight. You can literally collect trophies. The best thing ever for that kind of game was the skills. The cheat codes and skills you could get. You know how like if you did this or whatever, you get like skill points and you can use it to buy stuff. I remember buying like the final boss's skin, and you could actually play as him in the game. And dude, there was co-op. I forgot to say this. 3 had co-op. Deadlocked made it fucking amazing. Every weapon was great. The game was fun. It had New Game Plus. There was so much replayability to it. And what made it the best one for me was this. The flow, the storytelling. As much as people want to say it's like, oh, it had a piece of everything. It had third person shooting. It had time trials. It had racing. It had like, you know, they had commenters. I remember like playing, one of the challenges was you actually had to beat this person in a set amount of time. And if you did it, you got a new weapon. And this weapon was fucking stupid. You would throw down turrets, and in the game there was a limit. This didn't have a limit. So your limit was the ammo. So if you throw like 10 of them down, 10 would be down shooting at a character. It was insane. And a lot of people said it was unbalanced. In my mind, that just made it more fun. And when I think of games nowadays, like that game itself, even if it's not even like a main game, it stands out to me because it shows that like storytelling, mechanics, just because it's a little like just because it's like a freaking because it's like a spin-off, they put as much effort into it as much as they did for Ratchet and Clank 3, 2, like even the futuristic ones. They put the same amount of effort into that one as they did with all the other ones. And that's why I think that's number one. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm ever going to find a game like that. You know? I'm never going to find anything like that. You know, just sitting as a kid, grinding it out. You know, just doing every challenge on hard mode. And it was insane. That shit was hard. And that's the thing I loved. It's just the replayability, and that's something I want to put on people. Is just when I beat a game and I'm like, finally it's over. That's not a good game. That's a horrible game. I hate to say it. In my opinion, if you don't have a game that you can go back and play again because you love it enough, it's not a good game. That's my opinion. Like these fucking MMO first-person shooters, they don't have an ending. They don't. They never end. But if you're playing a story-based game, like Final Fantasy fucking 13 or whatever, or Final Fantasy 15, right? We were talking about that earlier. If I get through that game and I say, whew, I'm glad that's over, that's not a good game. In my eyes. And I mean, it's my opinion, but if your game does not make me want to go back and play it again, I don't ever want to play it again. It's a horrible game. It's not horrible, but it's not a good game in my eyes. And yeah, I played that game I beat that game 10 times. Ratchet Deadlocked. And you got in one of the skills thing, you had the twin pistols. You actually you know how in the gangs how they would shoot sideways or whatever. Ratchet would shoot sideways with both of them. It was so fun, dude. I love that game. I wish that something would be like that again, or maybe remaster, put on PC. But damn, I'm getting emotional. Whew.
So my final game and number one game is The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt.
I knew that wasn't gonna be it.
And it's just I don't know. I don't even know if we should go into explaining it really, because it's got everything. There are some flaws in the game, even so.
Mm-hmm.
The
perfect, but
the gameplay in some levels isn't really tight. The horse is kind of unbearable to maneuver sometimes and stuff, but storytelling, as high levels it can get. Characters, you cared about them. Just so many memorable characters. Geralt is just... Geralt's the fucking man. I think a lot of the reason why I like Geralt as a character is because his personality arc is kind of how my personality is kind of arced as I've started to grow up now, being almost 30. When you first play the Witcher games, and you got to play the other ones too to really know, but he's just so kind of angry and gruff and frustrated,
an old person.
Not that he acts like an old person. He is older though, because he doesn't age a lot.
Okay, boomer. I'm sorry.
I'm not a boomer.
I'm making the joke of him just being he's always angry. He's always pissed
Dude,
off.
someone was telling me about that the other night. You go, okay, boomer to people, to boomers.
No, it's 10-4 dinosaur, and it's oh my god.
So, but no, he eventually starts to show that he's a compassionate guy, and he cares and has principles and things he wants to stand up and fight for, and he builds a really strong bond with all these other characters in the game, and in the guise of trying to stop the fucking world from ending, pretty much. And it's got one of the most content-packed, just dense, amazing open worlds. And I remember when I was playing it, the graphics and everything are just so amazing. I loved the way the game played. I loved everything you could do, the customization, the clothing, the weapons, upgrading everything, the skill tree. And exploring. I don't think I've ever explored and enjoyed a world more than that game. And I remember when I first played it, I was playing it, I'm riding around my horse, and I'm like, man, I'm this fucking continent, this world is so dope. And then you get 70% of the way into the game, right? And all of a sudden, the main quest line starts to branch, and they're like, oh, you need to travel to fucking Skellige, right? And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is Skellige, right? You get on a fucking boat, as if that world wasn't big, as if that continent wasn't big and is fucking packed with towns and cities and characters enough. You get on a boat, dude, and you go on a boat ride, and it doesn't show it to you at first. It just tells you where to go on the map. And it looks like there's this giant body of water out there, and you just go out into this body of water, and you go along, and all of a sudden, dude, on the fucking horizon, you just see this other fucking massive island that's half the size of the regular continent, but it's still pretty big, and it's this place called Skellige, and it's got 2 major cities on it with a bunch of towns around it, tons of different places to explore, and dungeons and all kinds of stuff. And you go there, and then there's the rest of the story takes place mostly on Skellige, and there's all these new characters you meet there, shit going down. There's just everything from grimy in the mud backwoods, fighting fucking monsters in caves and in swamps and fucking brushes of death, to all of a sudden you're with Yennefer and you're just in this fucking royal palace getting drunk with fucking rich people and partying and just kicking it with the peasants that are serving food because they're the really cool ones and all this stuff. The game has this, it's this amalgamation of every different piece of like human life and the human condition. You have the poor, you have the rich, you have everything in between. You have people that want to do good, people want to do bad, and it's just this melting pot of just. It's like the medieval fantasy melting pot of the world that we see today, kind of. It's just an amazing game, and I know a lot of people couldn't get into it because they didn't like the way, you know, he moved and thought the game was boring in the beginning because it starts slow. But dude, it picks up and it's so fucking good. It's my favorite video game of all time. And honestly, it's hard to be original now.
It is.
And I'd be hard pressed. I know I said it about Metal Gear Solid 3, but I'd be hard pressed if a game comes along and beats that out. Because I loved Red Dead Redemption 2. Still not better than The Witcher 3. And anyone out there that I know they made it in a way that you could play The Witcher 3 and not have to play the other two. What was dope about that was there's a scene where you sit in the tub when you're going to this like fucking place called I think it's not Velen. It's this big. You're going to see one of the main kings, right? Because this girl's pretty much like your daughter is actually his daughter, but she doesn't want anything to do with him because like you're the one that's trained her and took her in. Like it's her estranged. She's estranged from her father, and he confronts you. But they make you get all classy and formal and dressed up because you're going to be in the presence of kings and royalty and shit. And they make you shave and take a bath. And the scribe asks you where you've been because no one knows where you've been after what shit happened in the second game because all the games are.
Yeah, because you killed a king.
Well, you do a bunch of shit in the second game. So it's cool. In the tub, you sit down and they ask you a whole string of questions and you got to remember what you did in the second game. And you answer them accordingly, and it changes specific outcomes in the game. There's a bunch of different endings of the game. But yeah, I suggest anyone that's never played it. The first one's on PC, but I definitely suggest people playing the second one because I played all three. But yeah, Witcher 3, favorite game of all time. I played that game so much that like I haven't gone back to it because I don't want it to be like, you know, I don't want to get bored of it or nothing. I haven't gone back to it and played it in a long ass fucking time. I got it on my PC. I bought it twice. I bought it for full price on my PC once I got it. That's how much I loved that game.
You know, it's kind of funny when we think about it. It's like we just spent, I want to say around an hour and a half.
Yeah, and we're going to wrap this up, but I've got something I want you to talk about at the end. Finish your thought.
No, the thing is, what I was going to say is just, it's kind of funny how, what if we, like, never played these games? Like, how would we, like, turned out without, like, learning these themes, you know? Like,
oh, dude, Metal Gear Solid changed my life. I'm not even joking. You want to know why Metal Gear Solid changed my life?
Why?
Because Metal Gear was talking about real world thoughts and philosophies and things that were coming in the future. You know, talking about current things like military industrial complexes, talking about a lot of different ideals. It taught me to question everything. It taught me about conspiracies. Dude, Metal Gear Solid was talking about DARPA before people knew DARPA existed. Kids when we were younger didn't know what DARPA was. You remember the first Metal Gear Solid game, the DARPA chief, you trying to save him, he fucking has a heart attack when they actually killed him and shit. Dude, it changed. It made me curious and made me question shit. Metal Gear Solid made me want to start figuring out things in life for real, like on my own. Make me look at shit, try to explore shit, investigate shit.
I know on with Sly Cooper 3, that game taught me like loyalty above everything else. If you can't trust your team,
waiting for you to get on, bitch.
Won't be much longer. You're saying.
Just do that. Okay. The thing is like that taught me like loyalty above those. Be thankful for your friends, because and never look away. Because even when he got the panda on his team, who was originally his enemy, that hit me. Because what happened was you never look away from anybody, because anyone could be your greatest ally. You know.
You never know when you never know when your greatest companions are right around the corner.
Oh yeah.
Like us becoming friends.
Oh yeah, no, we met.
Like I never thought that I had the whole mindset, I'm going to college, I'm just going to do work and I'm going to ignore people and shit.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, I make one of my best friends.
Yeah. I remember when we first met and like, oh my fucking god. I think when you said something about Twitch and streaming, I'm like,
I was probably like, you stream pussy.
No, seriously, like we were you know, out of the blue, it was me, you, and Sarah, and what's her name? Tristan took that class?
Tristan and Sarah, they were the first two people I met at school. I knew Sarah from high school,
But, and it was, the thing is, I'll be honest with you, dude, if I didn't meet you, I don't know where I would have been with school. Like, being with you and everyone at that table, you know, made me want to succeed in life, you know? Because when I was going there, I just was going to go. I didn't have any ambitions, any goals. It wasn't until, like, I met you, Sarah, all my friends, you know, that pushed me and made me, you know, want to succeed. And here I am now, almost done with school, pushing it as hard as I can, you know?
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. And it's just, you know, like, I never thought, you know, this dude who was a bouncer, who was a fucking bouncer.
A bouncer? Yeah, I was. I used to be.
A guy who used to be a bouncer, who was so fucking smart, looked like he could beat the shit out of me. And I remember, like, talking to you, and we, like, talk about games, and it was just, like, we just get into it, like, for, like, hours on end. You know? We became friends, like, really good friends, I think, the one time when you invited me over. Back, I think, you and what's-her-name was a thing.
We'll just call her what's-her-name.
Yeah, what's-her-name. And I came over, and I drank a shit ton. I drank a little too much of vodka.
Yeah, she was a bad influence.
Yeah, she was. And you know, I just basically destroyed my throat, singing freaking...
My mom loves that shit, by the way.
Freaking, you know...
Rock band.
Aerosmith, rock band, you know, we're just singing, and we're just having a great time. That's why I think we became, like, really good friends. Because at that point, we're just like, yeah, this is fucking great. And
yeah, sometimes you just need people around you, like, that are motivated. Iron sharpens iron, like-minded people. You don't want to waste your time spending time with people that suck biggest, and don't want the best for you, you know?
I'll be honest with you, Evan, my biggest fucking regret for Cayuga. I'll say it right here, my biggest regret is meeting the original group of people I met originally.
Like, before you started hanging out with us?
Yep. Before I started hanging with you guys. I wish I never met them.
No, it's a good thing that you meet shitty people, because it teaches you to be more armed for shitty people in the future.
Not even that, though, Evan. It's just, it's this, too. I'm thankful, and also I regret it. Because if I didn't screw up, I would never have met you. I would never met Sarah. I would never met Tristan. I wouldn't have great friends, you know?
Big D.
Big fucking
D. Codename Big D.
Dude, I probably would have never met him.
Yeah, where the fuck is Big D at? He's dodging me, dude. Yeah. Big D's dodging me right now. I gotta fucking call his ass.
But, you know, I'm thankful, and I do regret that, but, you know, I've been thinking about stuff a lot more recently, like, religion shit, like, you know, something, like, I know, like, I have weird opinions on shit, but
Don't we all?
Yeah, but it's just...
Dude, trust me, don't feel like that. A lot of people out there think they're super fucking smart when we don't know anything about fucking anything. Yeah. Aren't everyone's opinions fucking weird in some fucking way?
In my opinion, there's always a plan. Like, that upper entity has something planned for you.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, you know, when I was going through the semester, you know, Mike and Ember know this. So, like I said, I was in English, and I'm fucking dozed off, and I'm an idiot with that. But the professor said, you have till Monday to get everything in. And I'll be honest, I remember talking to Mike and Ember on that time. I grinded that out. I didn't talk to anybody with them. I didn't talk to, like, my friends online. I didn't play any games. I literally had to cancel and shit online to, like, do that. And, you know, and I put school forward. You know, I plussed in my ass. I got the essays done, and I got a C+ in the class on a weekend. And I was proud of myself, one, because I did it, and two, even if I did doze off, I came back and saved it. Because that's what really counts in the end, is if you are willing to work your ass off to fix it, you know?
I think you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
I think you're starting to make your way through emerging adulthood, you're starting to figure yourself out, and
I mean,
it takes a little time.
I mean, if you myself now.
Yeah, you got to believe in yourself. Look, life is short, and it's hard. I've gone through times where I don't believe in myself all the time, and I question shit all the time. You kidding me? I was just having a conversation with my buddy the other day. Like, I was like, I don't know if I want to go to grad school. He's like, you were saying that shit about when you went to college before you got a 3.6. He's like, a Q good. I was like, yeah, you're right, and all the stuff, blah blah blah. So you gotta stay the course, push. You gotta remember, like I always tell, I have a buddy Adam who's always like on the edge about shit like that, and I just tell him, I go, listen, bro, one day, I go, one of us is gonna be burying the other motherfucker. Mm-hmm. I go, do you want to look back on remembering each other and be like, yo, we didn't maximize our potential or chase the things that we wanted to do, like,
yeah.
Dude, the world is your, like they say, that cliche, like the world is your fucking oyster. It is, dude. Go out and do whatever you want to do, dude. You know what I think you should do? Do you plan on going to school longer or no?
I think when I'm done with this, and honestly, I think I'll be done for it. But I know I'm going to start, like, researching things.
So you think you're done with school after this? You're not going to go to school anymore? Because I was going to say, if you do go to school, dude, you should just get the fuck out of here and go live on campus somewhere. Meet new people. Get new experience, bro.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I didn't tell you this, but I went up to Clarkson to see my best friend Chris. And when I was up there, I'll be honest with you, like, it was so different. I was talking to
whole new
there.
people, whole new environment.
Dude, they were so nice.
Yeah.
I accidentally went into the wrong
Not everyone's
apartment.
assholes. That's one thing.
I went to the wrong apartment by accident. I'm like, hey, Chris, and the people were like, Chris isn't here. I'm like, he's like, he's next door. I'm like, oh, thanks, man.
You know that.
And I went to a party. Me and my friend went to a party, and it was awesome. I felt happy. I felt like, these are the people that, sometimes I wish I did it, but then I'm like, well, I wouldn't have Evan. I wouldn't have all these people,
And it's funny you say that because, what'd you say?
No, I was going to say, just be happy for who you have and who's there for you. Because, life's short to be angry or to be worried about that kind of shit. Because here's the thing. I'm 22, you're 28. We still have our whole lives ahead of us. We still have so much time.
Yeah, who knows, dude? Maybe like 3 years from now, you'll just bone some chick in a laundromat, and you'll be a dad, and you'll have a job, and like you never know, dude.
Who knows?
You just be folding your whites one night, just shoot your whites all over some chick. Next thing you know, you're married. But no, it's funny. Like I don't know, and it's funny. Anton and I have become really close friends. It's probably the only thing that Anton and I, for philosophical points, probably the only thing we disagree on. Anton grew up really religious. He's not super religious anymore, but somehow he's taken the whole. He believes people are innately evil, and that I feel like he thinks you got to do work to not be bad and to build yourself into a good person. I don't believe in that.
I personally believe it.
I believe there's more good in this world than people think.
See, the problem is, it depends on what you look at it.
You got to look for it.
It depends on how you look at it. Like for me, I try to live positively because, like I said, life's too short to be angry.
Just zaps your energy, man.
You gotta live positively. You gotta think positive because that's how you're gonna live through life. If you live life like if you're like, oh well, you're happy but you're poor, whatever. No, that's not how it works. That's wrong. Because if you're happy, you love what you're doing. You'll take that somewhere,
And in closing, you said you wanted to say some shit to me about Death Stranding, which is a video game that I've been wanting to play. And then we'll close with that. So what was it that you've been wanting to tell me about Death Stranding? I have not played it yet.
I'm going to say this.
I wanted to talk about the future games, but we'll just end with this because we're getting a little lengthy.
I just want to do some shout-outs at the end, though. For some people.
Tell me what you want to say about Death Stranding, though. And we'll end the video game stuff on that.
I'm going to say it like this. Amazon Simulator.
But did you like it, though? I think everyone already knows. So you've never played it. I think everyone knows that you walk a lot in it until you could build the vehicles. You start driving vehicles and stuff in it.
Like I said, Amazon shipping simulator, and it's just nuts. It's weird. It's a brand new kind of way of gaming, and it's
definitely the first of its kind.
It's not good, nor is it bad. I can't really say 100%, only because that's not what I'm into.
Is it just something you got to experience and then make up your mind on it?
Yeah, you got to experience and then figure it out yourself.
So is it something you should experience? You've watched people play it. I haven't watched a lot of people play it. So you don't think you have to experience. You think it's... So you're telling me it's not that good, you think. You haven't played it, though.
Yeah, I've seen it, though.
You've watched people play it?
Yes.
I've watched people play it a little bit.
Like I said, if you want to do it, you have Gamefly, right?
No, I got rid of it because I realized I've gotten so good at picking out what games are actually good or not that I don't need to rent them all anymore. Like, I know what to buy now and what not to. I used to just rent absolutely everything from Gamefly, dude. Yeah, it used to be worth it because I used to play video games so much. Think about it. $20 a month. That's $240 a year. I would literally beat like 8 to 12 games a year You multiply that, that's way more than what it costs you to GameFly.
Well, here's the thing too. Is just now we'll end it soon. But the thing, I'll tell you this. So when I was playing ESO, like you could pay for the service, whatever, it was like $15. This is what I said to myself: if I can't get 15 hours of gameplay out of this per month, then it's not worth it to me. So when like I'm halfway through a month, I'm like only have 3 hours. And I'm like, no, this ain't worth it. So I get rid of it. That's how I think. Like, you know, if I pay like $120 for a pair of shoes, I expect to, you know, walk in them 120 hours or 120 days, you know? And then after that time period, then I'll say, okay, I'll get new ones, you know? And that's just how my thinking of it is.
Well, that being said, any last words from Kyle LaPine? Big Daddy, Kyle LaPine? Any shout outs, last words, anything you want to say?
I just want to thank everybody for the guest of the year. You know, it's... and, you know, I want to thank everybody who's been there. Not even just Evan, like Mike, Ember, Chris, John, Jordan, Tyler, Justin, you know, people I've actually, like, encountered in my life. You know, because I feel like if I never met them, I would never been this kind of person in my life. You know, so I say thank you. You know, I'll say this to Anton, man. You know, better luck next year. You know, good luck to you. But I'll be honest with you, dude, I'm only gonna get better from here, man.
What about Eddie J?
It's only gonna get better from here.
Stake your claim. Tell them how good you're gonna be next year. Tell them you better watch out, baby. Tell them you're bringing heat in 2020.
Listen, dude, 2020 is gonna be the year of the LaPine, dude.
Oh, the Pine Master.
LaPine, dude. Fucking yeah.
But yeah, guys, this is the Keepin' a G Real podcast. You already know what it is. I'm happy to have my boy Big Kyle, guest of the year, on. It's always a pleasure.
10 episodes, dude. I remember when we started.
I think this is your 10th. You've been on your 10 times.
Remember when we first started this? You're like, hey, I just want to try it. Look what it's become now, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still low on the followers. We need to get more people, get it out there and stuff. I'm close to. I'm gonna be coming up on 100, I think.
Listen, man. In honesty, like, you gotta start somewhere. But you know, by having wholesome content like this, that's how you get big.
Yeah, hopefully. I got a couple people that have been sharing it. But yeah, this is the Keep It a G Real podcast. This has been real. It's been fun. But it ain't been real fun. We'll holla at you.
Peace.